Alright, hey everybody. So today we're kind of gonna be taking a little look at the live letter that came out yesterday morning. I have pretty much done my best to not look at anything, not be spoiled, so we'll be going into everything pretty fresh. Kind of gonna discuss a lot of things on the screen. For a bit of background, I've played Final Fantasy since closed beta of Realm Reborn. I did take a little break right after the open beta till about 2.3, 2.4 because I just was having difficulty logging into the game during the open beta. And I was still playing Final Fantasy XI at that time. But since then, I've been pretty current with content and everything, so it'll be interesting kind of seeing what they're planning to do with the job changes, because supposedly on top of, the fact they're going to show a job action trailer, which is a definite. I mean, I know they showed it because they already posted the video for it, and it popped up on my YouTube feed. I didn't look at it, though, so we'll be going in fresh. I'm hoping we'll get to hear what the rework of, Astrologian and Dragoon looks like, though. Alright, without too much ado, let's go ahead and get started. One second, actually. Appears it did not go to the capture card. Oh, whoops. Alright, let me exit out of Honkai real quick. I forgot I was still logged in. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, flashy. Okay, the limit break for, Oh, that's a sick-ass limit break for, Viper. Ooh! Okay, Dragoon. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, that's sick. So I'm pretty sure what here they're doing is the opener for Dragoon, but I'm pretty sure Okay. Never mind, maybe it's something else. Oh, that's a new oh, nice. We get another jump now. Okay. I'm gonna go back over that in a little bit, though. Okay, that's... Okay, I think that one was... Oh, that's new. That's... No, I think we've had that. Okay. Alright, yeah, the Confidier combo. Oh, they've got another... Okay, they've got another... Why are they turning that to a 5 combo? That's weird. Oh, that's new. That's a new skill, I think. Oh, that's definitely new. Okay. Oh, that's new. Okay, Primal Rent is a combo now? I see. So they're adding combo... Okay, this is one of the ones that's getting a rework, so... Wait. Did they draw 3 cards at once? That's weird. They did. What are they doing with the cards? Because it looks like they now have different effects again. God damn it. Okay, to answer this one. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that one's new. That's cool. Oh! Okay, I see what they're doing. They're adding new things to the burst damage. Okay, so they're doing like little combo burst. Ooh, what's this area? Ah, this is part of the forest zone. Okay. Oh, okay, that's a new skill. Alright, so let's see what they're doing. They're adding an extra DPS specifically for burst. They're not really adding, and doesn't seem like most of these are actual, like, new combos. Oh, that's also new. Oh shit. Okay, so they added the something new when you teleport away. Nice. They specifically showed the gauge with this one. That's interesting. Oh, I see! I see. This one's specific. Manification is just a straight up freebie. It doesn't give you gauge anymore. It just straight up gives you a freebie sword combo. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so it also looks like they're maybe tweaking abilities to no longer give you gauge, but instead just give you a free combo, which makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. They're basically reworking a lot of those gauge abilities to be like warriors in a release. Okay. Wait. How are they able to use Drill and Bioblaster so quickly one after the other? Oh, that's cool. You summon a little robot behind you. Okay. And then a lot of the new abilities also look like some of them also look like little burst abilities that look almost like little mini limit breaks. That's cool. Wait a minute. Hold on. What the fuck is this? No. No. Those fuckers turned Houton. They got rid of Houton. There's no fucking way. The only way they would show this and not show the little windmill, they got rid of the wind buff. Or they turned it to a trait, one of the two. Interesting. That's very interesting. I mean, in all honesty, it's probably something that's needed to be done. So, I mean, yeah, you have ways, like, with the hidden effect and whatnot outside of battle. Oh, that's cool. Ooh, I like that one. That's flashy. Very interesting. Oh shit, this is the Thunder Plains area. That's cool. Ooh. They're showing the gauge with this one too. That's interesting. Like, they weren't showing gauge for all of them, but some of them they've been showing the gauge for. Well, actually, no, they haven't been showing gauge for all of them. I'm dumb. Oh, that... Okay. I guess there was like a new AoE attack or something I didn't see. Wait. The fuck is this gauge? You can move your ley lines to yourself now? Oh, that's fucking fire! Okay. Oh, that's cool! Okay, so now they reward you for doing, I wonder if they do it for ice too, or if it's just specifically for... Oh, Flare gives you 3 automatically. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so you can pretty much skip doing high fire now, just straight up go back to... Oh, I like their gauge. Ooh. Okay, that's cool. I'm definitely going to analyze a little further on some of these. So it definitely seems like they've done some unusual quality of life changes. Okay, that went icy. Ooh, that was flashy. Okay, that's the activation. Okay. Oh, I see. I see. So they're a combination of Dragoon and Reaper. Okay. Okay. There's definitely some Reaper-esque gauge stuff going on with their version of Enshrouded for Trance. That's pretty cool. What? Whatever that was new. That might have been holy, though. Oh. White Mage got a cow closer! Oh man, that makes me happy. White Mage needed something like that, because they're the only healer that doesn't have some form of, like, quick cast on stuff. Okay, let's see what we got for Monk. Wait, what's this? Wonder what this means. This is interesting. Might actually wait until they discuss the changes to go back over this video. Alright, Dark Knight, what are you doing to my boy? Oh, that was kind of cool looking. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Okay. Still not understanding some of these yet, but I'm pretty sure knowing the changes will probably fix some of that knowledge. Oh! The letter O! Please tell me. Whoa. You no longer need a target for your songs! Oh my god, that is the biggest quality of life change for Bard. That is some of the most frustrating part about getting off sync with your songs, was the fact you couldn't pop them without an enemy there. Which, when the boss like goes untargetable for certain mechanics of the thing, oh, that's gonna be such a game changer. Bard's not gonna feel so wonky for fights anymore. That's gonna be nice. Okay, that was a cool ability. Oh! Alright, one second, pause. So it looks like so far, from what I'm seeing, a lot of these jobs have a new ability that's... And the reason why I say it's during their burst windows is it seems like they're activated, like, kind of similar... So, Dancer has a technical step. And every time technical step happens, they have Talana, which is basically like a little attack that you can pop after at any time using the same button as a technical step. So what I think they did is I think they actually did this with a lot of these jobs, is some of these new animations are little burst abilities that probably have a decent potency that you can pop anytime during your burst window, but it's activated by popping your 2-minute DPS buff. Curious to see how with jobs like Black Mage, well, actually no, I've kind of figured out Black Mage. Black Mages is basically you need to cast 6 fires, 4s, or which is about proper normal rotation for Fire 4s, or 2 flares in order to activate, I guess, a higher version of Despair. If I had to guess, it's probably going to upgrade Despair's animation rather than be a whole new ability. Also, the fact that they now have the ability to move your ley lines to you is actually going to add more mobility options to Black Mage, which is fantastic as fights get more and more about movement. So that's actually really good. But that's what I'm getting so far. So far, there's at least one ability for most jobs that is activated by pressing your 2-minute damage button. It looks like Astrologian's cards, you now draw 3 in one go rather than draw 1. And it seems like they all have different effects. I'm curious to know now if, like... Also, I wasn't sure, but I think they may have actually drawn 4. They may have combined crown and /sword and the other 3. I'm curious to know how the card effects have changed, but I mean, we'll probably know about that in a couple weeks because as of like today, I think they already started the media tour, which means, and I think right now they're probably doing, they usually do US first, or Japan first, so they're probably in either area. Sorry, I want to drink some water. But yeah, that's what I'm picking up so far. Why are they starting in Phoenix? That's fucking weird. You always start in Bahamut. Also, this area is still really cool. Yeah. That's interesting. But yeah, definitely looks like with this one too, they had another ability you could pop right after you popped Searing. Although why you would pop Searing during Phoenix is beyond me, because normally it should be during your Bahamut window, but... Wait a minute! What the fuck? Why does the gauge look different? Did you guys add a third fucking big summon? You guys added a third summon! What is that? Is that Neo Bahamut? Is that Neo Bahamut from 7? You are fucking kidding me! They added a third summon? I can't get over the fact we have a third big summon! And it looks like Neo Bahamut! Okay. Okay. Alright, that's Makyo right there. I can't remember if that's new or not. Wait, those 3 swords are new. Ooh. Okay. So that one seemed to be activated by Makyo, which makes sense. Oh. Was that a new bio? Or something? Huh? Huh? Scholar has an enshroud? I'm sorry, White Mage. I can't believe your new ability to actually move just got upstaged by scholars now being able to become a fucking fairy. That is fantastic. I wonder if that's supposed to be their version of temperance. Oh, that was pretty. Ooh, Pictomancer. Okay. Alright, let me see if I can actually pay attention. Okay. Okay. They were able to paint 3 things. I don't... The wings. Okay. Okay. A POW. I do not understand almost any of this at all. What's this little figure? Okay, that looks to be like an aura-based attack, buff maybe? Oh! Oh. This stuff is very pretty, very cartoony, but I don't understand almost all of it, I'm not gonna lie. Outside the fact it seems like maybe they took the fucking card system for... Oh, that's pretty. Did they take the card system from fucking Astro and give it to Picto? That'd be kind of feel silly. Oh wait! Faded Circle now has a combo. Huh. I mean, to be fair, they have a combo with the normal burst ability, so it makes sense for them to do that with the AoE combo. Nothing looking too new. Wait. That to me looked like they added... Oh god, did they add another fucking 3-step combo? Why would you already clutter a really... That makes... Okay, they're gonna play the trailer again? Oh! Oh, they're showing us the in-game menu. Damn, they're just getting straight fucking into it. No intro, no nothing, just like... Look, guys. Da da da. Da 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 da. Okay.
皆さんこんばんは。第81回ファイナルファンタジー14プロデュー
I
サー
kind of want that baseball jersey, but I kind of don't at the same time. Yeah, let me move myself a little bit down so I'm not blocking off the king himself, Yoshida. Ow. If you see me adjusting, I fell down the stairs. Well, I was, okay, not down the stairs, so to say, but I stepped off the final step, was half asleep, and actually my foot slipped and I fell and landed on my back with my neck and head on the stair, which is probably for the best considering the stairs were carpet. So
as we announced before, today's PL Letter Live is a bilingual stream both in Japanese and English. 今日のプロデューサーレターライブは事前にお伝えしています通り、日本語と英語のバイリンガル放送でお送りいたしますので、今日はスペシャルメンバーをご紹介したいと思います。So we have a now third special member today here. あいみさん。
Yay! Oh, she's not a Lolafel today. Aw.
Hello everyone, I'm me here.
はい。
Okay, so they have her live streaming from wherever she's at. Makes sense. She's not physically there with them. For the most part, she's normally only with them for special streams.
Some kind of jungle, thick jungle.
So, a little bit of history about Aimi. Aimi has been the official translator for Yoshida during most live letters that they do this, which is typically only the stuff like the combat and fan fests. Unless like Koji or Kate are there, she's normally the translator. And she's been his primary translator since the streams leading up to Heaven Sword. So she's been around quite a while. Before her was Ben. Ben was there for pretty much, I think, 1.0, and I think he was there for 1.0. I'm not sure. I know he is there from closed beta through the live letters for 2.0 through 2.5. She actually started, her very first time translating was specifically the job trailers and explanations for Heaven Sword. The problem was she didn't know fuck all about the game. So she mistranslated things based off what she was hearing. She was literally translating them. So instead of saying Shield of, she was saying Shield of Oath and such. And poor girl, the audience like roasted her so hard. And I'm like, bros, chill down, chill out. She probably doesn't play the game. She's a translator. She probably doesn't even have the time to play the game. But since then, she took the feedback with probably the best amount of grace anyone could, and since then has been fantastic. Like, I love her. She's grown from being very awkward and not really knowing anything about the game to dressing up as a Lalafell like she did in FanFest, so I really like her. Foxconn usually translates himself. He's a lot more
how it works today's PLA.
Like Foxconn translates his own stuff. He's pretty good about speaking English. He's a lot more confident with it. Yoshida understands English pretty damn well. He's just not very confident, I think, with his speaking skills in it. So he usually has Aimi or Koji or Kate cover for him for English. But he actually understands English a lot. He just doesn't speak it because he's not. I don't think he's confident in his skills too.
Speaker is Yoshida-san as always. メインで喋るのは吉田さんです。で、Aimi will do Yoshida-san's English voice. はい、Aimiさんが吉田さんの英語の通訳を行ってくれます。はい。で、最後に私は自分で言ってることは訳すんです。
He's saying he's gonna translate himself.
訳し忘れても大して重要なことは言ってませんので、聞き流しておいていただければと思います。And lastly, I will translate myself, and then sometimes I might miss to translate what I was saying, but anyway, I am not saying something important anyway, so just this.
Foxconn, my guy, you're fine.
よろしくお願いいたします。
よろしくお願いします。いやいい
What is Yoshida drinking? Is that like water or coffee? That might be milk tea or something like that. Speaking of which, I need to stock up on milk tea. I love how they're flexing with the little boxed collector's edition goodies. And the encyclopedias and such. I was very tempted to get this. I was very, very tempted, but because I move every couple of years for my job, I don't have the space for these figures.
Right after the trailer with the title
when I retire from that job, eventually, and move on to somewhere where I can be consistent, I will probably start collecting figurines.
Unfortunately, he was looking at the wrong keyboard, and so you could hear him in the background. It's like,
yeah, actually, there's two keyboards on the table, and then it was swapped. I mean, it was different setup during from the rehearsal. Actually, yeah. So
I can't wait because she's gonna be there when the content creators like Zeppla and Whoops and whatnot get to interview Yoshida. Curious to see if the fact that Asmongold hasn't been back on the game, if they still invite him to the next media tour, because he hasn't played. Like, he stopped at Stormblood.
Yoshida moved the keyboard because he wanted to check also the actions on the actual gaming machine, so shoot, that might have contributed.
みんなが
Damn, Foxconn throwing Yoshida under the bus, parked his ass right over it.
まあ今日は基本的には最新のジョブ、まあ、7.0 のジョブ関連のね情報をお届けしていこうとは思うんですけど、まあそれ以外にもいくつかお話はしていこうと思い
Yeah, I
ま
hope
すので、
Soken's doing
まあ
well.
若干ね長丁場にはなる
We haven't heard too much from Soken since
So of course, today we will be talking about the job updates that will be made in 7.0 Dawn Trail. But of course, we will be touching upon other things as well. So it might be a long broadcast, but yeah.
Looks like, oh, okay, it looks like they've got glamour items to show too, because there was a hint of yellow there. So it's either a housing item or glamour items. That's going to be fun.
Kicked off with the job action trailer today, so how did you like it?
I'm kind of curious to see if Kryle's going to get the new get a new outfit, or if they're going to keep her in her traditional
気に
outfit.
なりましたね。
山が
Part of me wants her to stay in her traditional outfit because she is like
I'm sure
essentially
everybody's
Kryle from 5.
wondering what's going on. Oh,
But on the other hand, I do think she's due a glow up like all the other Scions. It's not fair to keep her in the same outfit for all of
まあ割と今回は本当
I really do like the backdrop for this one, and this looks a lot cleaner and professional. They should keep this backdrop for most of their live letters. Because usually what they do is they kind of green screen the two, and they have like a scrolling list of wallpapers, but this actually looks very clean, very professional. Their webcam could use a
So
little
with
bit of
this
an
time
upgrade
around,
though.
we tried to listen to the player feedback that we received, try to implement where we can, made adjustments and things like that. Trying to.
Oh, you may be hearing a
address any
thunderstorm in the
points that
background. I
you
do
may have
apologize, by the
noticed.
way.
And so I feel like we just kind of transitioned and advanced as we were kind of like on a trajectory. So I'm hoping that we don't have to go into such detailed explanation of this change to that and this goes over there, and it won't take like 6 hours for us to explain everything.
まだみんなちょっと疑ってますね。コメントでいっぱい本当に
いやいやいやいやいやいやいやいや持たないよマジで持たないよ
I don't think we can do 6-hour broadcasts anymore. Can't last that long.
いやテスト放送で
This one's like 5 hours and 10 minutes, my guy. You got fairly close.
で拡張のたびに、まあ、マスターね直前最終調整のフィードバックをちょうど終えたところなんですけど、まあなんといってもメディアツアーもスタートしてるんで
I am interested to see what they change in general, though, as well as everything else. That being said, I may pause this at the hour mark, to get myself something to drink, or actually, before they get started, I may do this.
マジ疲れてるんで、はい、しょうがない。
I mean, it's just, I mentioned this in the test broadcast too, but it's just a lot that we're packing into this expansion. And right now we're still doing our final checks before we lock our master build. And so it just provided feedback on some of the checks that we have done. And of course, we're also kicking off our media tour for Dawn Trail as well. And then there's also the corporate things going on. And so, man, I am exhausted.
Understandable.
前回私やらかしているので
So, for those of you who don't know what Media Tour is, Media Tour is where Yoshida, I think I don't know if Foxconn's also there, but there are a few others that they go to Japan, of course Japan. They usually go to, I think last time they went to like Sweden or something, but they'll go to Europe, and then they'll go to the US, and they usually have a set order for it, and it started today. And for a week, they're in each area, and they have content creators fly in, come to this tour, along with, like, game journalists and whatnot to review. And then, basically, they're like, hey, play this demo build. You have access to the first zone. You have access to one zone, the first dungeon for the expansion, and all jobs at level at max level with a basic artifact gear. And they'll actually tailor the characters' looks to match the characters of the content creators. So all the big content creators, Mr. Happy, Zepla, Whoops, Drac from Nest, and a fair few others, they all come in and they get to record footage of them playing the game with the characters. They get to do their own analyzing of what each ability is, what the potencies are. Granted, the potencies aren't always correct because this is a demo build, it's not a final build, but it does help theory crafters, for instance, go ahead and guesstimate a little bit ahead of time what the rotation's going to look like for burst windows. And so these content creators, about a week or two later after the event, or within a couple of days to a week or two after the event, the embargo for submitting this footage is done, and they can post videos, and usually they'll get to take footage home with them to edit and put together a video. And generally they're very well done. They get to just kind of experience a little bit what the game's going to look like, what jobs are going to look like at Nat 100, and get to experience the dungeon and whatnot. Last time for Endwalker, because of COVID, they did a digital event where everyone just live streamed going through this content, and then they did a virtual time frame where they got like an hour to interview Yoshida and Foxconn with Aimee as the translator. And that one's pretty well known because when Asmongold and Rich Campbell both interviewed Yoshida, he made a very snide comment that was very clearly directed at Blizzard and the state of WoW. Because a lot of people forget, Yoshida used to be a hardcore WoW player. In fact, him being a prior hardcore WoW raider is part of what shaped his choice and direction for 2.0 and above of Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn. So yeah, sorry.
このぐらいのタイミングで行月のフィナーレ2ヶ月2ヶ月じゃねえや2週間今回もかみたいな書かれてましたけど、現時点では大丈夫です。現時点では大丈夫。
Okay.
予定通り。
And of course, people
予定通
may
り。
remember.
その予定通りにもうできる限りのクオリティアップ。
She's like, damn it, he's not done yet. But I think she's gotten used to him.
As you may remember, the last time with Endwalker, we opened with an apology that we would have to shift the launch timing by 2 weeks, but this time we should be fine. At this point, I feel like we are good. We are trying to polish and try to raise the quality as much as possible up to the last minute, so I think we're good.
Okay, so he's fairly confident that they will not have to delay. Which I didn't think they would have to. Like, it sounded like from the fan fest that they've been working overtime to make sure that this didn't happen again, and that they'd be on time with everything. In fact, supposedly, they had so much time on their hands with the fact that a lot of this update is the graphics overhaul, that they were able to actually update a couple of older armor and such. Something that we weren't expecting at all.
お知らせしといた方がいいかなと思うので、ちょっと冒頭そこから始めさせてもらっていいですか。急遽ではあるんですけど。はい。
And so, I understand that we will be discussing the job updates today, but before we get into that, I did want to address the current DDoS attacks as well as the status update on the benchmark software.
Oh, thank God.
で、まずその
For those of you who don't know, there's been, on the EU servers at least, I don't know how NA servers have been, but EU servers have had DDoS attacks so often that content has been literally unplayable for the past week and a half. Like, I've tried to get on and level my crafters on my EU alt, and I can't even log in for more than 10 minutes without being kicked out because of the DOS attacks. So I am glad they're taking a moment to address this.
の攻撃、アタックを受けていますというところなんですけど、Q14 始まって以来、 最大規模、
うん
最大期間のちょっと攻撃に今なってます。
And of course, with the DDoS attacks, I believe this is the largest scale and length we've been sort of seeing this sort of attack since the original Final Fantasy XIV.
まあただ
Oh shit, so this is the most since 1.0?
インフラチーム、まあ
I mean, that sounds about right.
インフラチーム何人ももちろんいるんですけど、
Normally they last for
24
1 or 2 days and they stop, but this has been like
全グ
a
ローバル
week
の
ongoing.
そのベンダーさんたちとリアルタイムに協議しながら防御のやり方だったりとか、まあこう切り替えながら防御をずっとし続けていて、まあどうしてもねこうパケットがすり抜けて1000人2000人
I suppose he's explaining what's causing it, and they may potentially offer game time back if I'm knowing Yoshida.
致命的なところまではいかないように
So we might get like a free month. We'll see. I don't. We might not.
まあどうしてもこう
But I would expect that could be the
世界
case.
中のねハッキングされたコンピューターからこうパケットが飛んでくるっていうシンプルな攻撃なだけにどこか一箇所止めればいいっていうものではないので、まあ、粘り強く防御をしていこうと思いますので、その旨ねしっかりやってますというところだけ、お伝えさせていただければと思います。
Of course, although it is the largest and the longest period we've been receiving these attacks, we do have a very talented infrastructure team in Square Enix, and those who are specifically assigned to Final Fantasy XIV, working very hard to protect us on a 24-hour basis. They swap teams on a rotation. But they've been working really hard to not only work internally, but they also have been working with global vendors to discuss about how we protect protect us from the attacks, trying to switch strategies as needed. But of course, we do see some packets being lost, and there are instances where somewhere upwards of 1,000 to 2,000 people get disconnected at the same time. And so we do apologize for any inconvenience that may have caused, but I am hopeful because we have not seen any sort of critical damage at this point. And so Square Enix will continue to work diligently to protect us from these DDoS attacks. It's quite difficult. I mean, the attacks themselves are quite simple because it's just basically computers that have been hacked throughout the world, and these different packets come flying at our servers. But we are trying our best to apply the countermeasures needed, and we are aware of the situation and are working hard to protect us against it.
Alright, so probably no on game time.
まあ一度ね、DDoS に関しては結構詳しくどういうもの
Which is kind of understandable. I mean, right now it's not like there's much going on, so it's only frustrating to those who are just starting or
防御展開してますんで、引き続き粘り強くいこうと思います。
And of course, I think we have in the past informed you all on the social channels about the DDoS attacks, and so you may be aware of what this kind of situation entails. And I really thank everybody for the comments saying hang in there and encouraging words for us. Our staff members are working hard, and I do
I mean, it's not Yoshida's fault that some people are being asshats and specifically targeting the game when they know that the expansion is coming up next month. It's just, it happens. So the thing with the DDoS attacks, it always happens before every expansion. I don't know if it's like the same people doing it every time, but typically, like they said, it's some hacked computers massively spamming packets at the game, causing it to overload and disconnect people, thinking there's more data than there actually is, and overloading the servers. Luckily, like they said, no critical damage has been done, stuff like that. But it's I can understand how frustrating it must be to not only the players, but the Yoshida and them, especially during a time when right now they need to be focused on the QA checks they're finishing up, the setup for the build, setup for the thing, because it sounds like they're also setting up cross-region data center travel at the same time, potentially, which is also going to stress them out because that's gonna open up some floodgates. Which reminds me, I'm curious to see if they're gonna discuss limitations. I'm hoping they put a few more limitations. Like, I don't think going cross region you should be able to buy off the market board, because I feel like it's just gonna completely destroy what economy there is. Like, data center travel alone, like within your region, having the ability to buy market board stuff there has actually already killed a lot of the money flow for the average non-RNT person. So I could see cross region doing even worse. Which, I mean, I get, because then it lowers the demand for housing, but at the same time, it's kind of like, but then you make everything more expensive, such as travel, weapons and gear, stuff like that. It's a bit stressful. So I hope they don't do that.
お伝えしようと思います。
So that's the first one. The second one is the benchmark software, and more specifically, the graphical update, the graphics update.
まずベンチマークソフトをリリースしたんですけど、コメントもちょっと出させていただいた
Oh, they're doing a soft release
画
date.
面のやっぱり環境セットアップっていうところがすっぽり抜けていた
Sounds like it's probably next couple of
非常に良くない
weeks.
環境セットアップの状態で出てしまったのと、まあ世界中でたくさん
Which
の
makes sense. They want it out before Dawn Trail so people can get a new feel
もうそ
for
れ
it.
らを一個ずつ指差し確認しながらバグフィックスも含めて、ゴリゴリ作業をしておりますまず。
And so, of course, with the benchmark software, and we have released an official statement about this as well, but we have seen issues with the character creation screen and how the environment was not properly implemented to reflect what you will be seeing in the graphical updates. And so I'm afraid when we first released the benchmark software, it was not in its optimal state. As well as the races that are available in character creation, we did receive a lot of feedback on the different elements that are reflective of poor graphical updates, and so we have gone through and sort of reviewed these different feedbacks, make sure that we are addressing what we can, and in addition to the different bug fixes, we are currently trying to finalize the different adjustments that we are applying.
で今日も、
Okay.
午後
So
1
it's
時間
software, not
2時間
soft
ぐらい
release.
キ
Whoops.
ャラハンと一緒にこうこれはあれはってこう一個ずつやりながらチェックをしてました。
What's with the finger guns, my
And
guy?
even today, at 1 p.m., I had a meeting with the character team to make sure that we're looking at the screen, pointing at the different elements that we're addressing to confirm.
Cool, cool, cool.
なのでちょっと途中経過で
To
皆さんの
kind of reiterate, a lot of people's complaints were that characters looked lifeless because their eyes didn't have shines to them, and that certain textures just didn't look good. Like the environment rendering and whatnot made like certain textures look like faded. The lighting didn't match the update either, so it didn't make the skin look good or anything else. All the textures look kind of flat, so. And that was just like what they said here. It was an issue with the original client because character creation mode had not been updated with the new graphics overhaul because it used a different lighting system specifically than the actual game. And so they went in, they were fixing all that, fixing all the looking at the feedback and pointing to all the things people noted, which I know the soulless eyes, looking eyes was definitely one of the big things. So now I'm hoping they're talking about an actual release date.
ご意見も聞きたいものがあったのでスクショをちょっと
But if they're meeting with it to make sure that everything's done, it sounds like it's going to be soon. I would suspect probably first or second
And
week
so
of
I
June.
wanted to provide not only a status update, but wanted to get everybody's opinion. And so I brought some screenshots for us to look at.
まあとはいえ、まあ、ベンチマークって言っても結局ベンチマーク
Sorry,
だけの作業をしてるわけじゃなくて
Adjusted my character a little bit so I could sit up a little more.
決して我々にとって無駄
I'm
な作業
trying
では
not
ない
to fuck up my back today, you know?
And of course, we mentioned this will be reflected in the benchmark software, but it's not just for the benchmark software. These graphical updates and the different environmental changes will be reflected to 7.0, the expansion itself. And so it's not a wasteful effort, so to speak.
でしかも
Okay.
これからもそのベンチマークっていうのは
Yeah,
ある
they're
世
talking
界
about
中の
how
PC
these
ベンダー
edits will
の
also be
店頭で
applied to
ぐる
the
ぐる回してもら
original
ったりとかフラッと来たお客様がキャラメイクしたりとかそういった
thing.
PR 要素もあるので、まあ、しっかりこのタイミングでどのみち 7.0 に向けて皆さんのフィードバックをね入れていくんであれば一緒に入れた方がね効果的ではあるので一生懸命両方頑張ってますと。
And of course, with the benchmark software, I think we can utilize it as well to show off Final Fantasy XIV to, say, PC vendors if they wanted to have it in their storefront or
Okay.
have their customers kind of play with character creation. And so it has its use beyond the game itself. So with the feedback that we received on the benchmark software will be reflected not only in that segment, but it'll also apply to the expansion itself, which makes it a collaborative effort for us.
はい、ではちょっとそれ
Yeah,
見て
and
みましょうか。
honestly, it's
So
good
if we
they're
have the
finally updating.
screenshots ready.
まず
Yeah.
左側画面に映ってる
Alright,
左
let me
側が
pause
すいま
this.
せん
So see here how the eyes didn't have any light to them. The textures looked very flat because of the older lighting. And now look how much better this looks. Like the glossy skin, the actual proper shading. The hair even looks less flat and more vibrant. Like this looks much better. Like much better.
マップのね環境ライティングがよろしくない状態で、まあ、基本
Wow,
ライティングを
this is
今調整されてるんですけ
fantastic.
どライトを調整したものが右です。素材はほぼ変わってません。
So what you're looking at on the
The
left
eyes
side,
no
it's
longer
noted
look
that this
soulless.
is
That's
from
the most
original
important part. They did
release of
that
the benchmark
correctly.
software
Good
from
job,
April.
Essie.
This is before we adjusted the environmental lighting. And then on the right is what we currently have with the updated lighting adjustments reflected. The character itself is basically unchanged.
いや、本当すいません。これはね、
Yeah,
僕ら
it's
が
the
悪い
exact same
まあ
textures. It's
僕
just the
も
lighting
含めて
system's
本当に
finally
悪かった
fixed.
んですよ。ライト
Granted, this is
ちゃん
still
と
a
したら
bit,
こう
quite
な
a
る
bit
ので
pixelated
本当すいま
in
せんで
this
した
version, but to be fair,
And I
it
really
looks a lot better when
apologize
I
for
don't
this
have it zoomed
happening,
out.
Because it is just a matter of adjusting the lighting and
Understand that
as
it
you can
probably
see, it
in
is a much,
real time is
bigger
not gonna
improvement
look this
if we have the
pixelated.
proper lighting
It
on the
the
character.
pixelation only
いや
looks
今
like
回
this because
改
this
めて見
is
直した
on
らです
full
ね、いろい
screen
ろなん
and
か
not
やっぱこ
in
う申
like
請の時に作ったこ
uh
の環境
smaller
これもおか
form.
しくてですねなんかここ一応なんか若干の曇り設定になってたんですけど、なぜか雨のパラメーターも入ってたりしてて若干キャラが濡れるみたいなところもあって
All right, I see the ads are starting. So really quick, I'm gonna go grab me a drink. Shouldn't be but a moment. Alright, 1 second while I get situated and then we'll get back on it. Alright. Moving my little footstool out a little bit. Alright. Alright, back into it. 1 second. There we go.
And when I look at these different elements, I see the remnants of when we kind of hastily put together the Realm Reborn environment. And there are a lot of weird spots that we needed to fix. So previously it was set up so for some reason there's some parameters that note a rainy environment as
Okay, here we go. Alright, so let's go over this next image. Sorry, I skipped a little bit ahead and I may do that going forward. Wow. Okay, so the facial part looks washed out in this benchmark. This is how it looked at the end of Endwalker. This is how it looks now, which is, like I said, fantastically better. Textures don't look as washed out. The shadows and whatnot look good.
and I understand it looks kind of scary, but in order for us to show the teeth properly, we have to do this.
Congratulations on living,
でで
Kalia.
すね、男性も女性もちょっと調整を入れて
ますね。
Okay. Yeah. You can tell here some of the sharper shadows and whatnot. This one doesn't look too different, to be honest, minus the fact that the lighting's just a little bit better.
Lots of comments saying right side.
でございます。
Here we go. For female Makote, Keepers of the Moon Tribe, we've adjusted the length of the canine teeth for face type 1 and 3 to match the current version. For mouth types 1 through 3, the length of the canine teeth will look like the ones to the left, and for mouth type 4, the length will look like the ones to the right. Okay, so now you can choose to have smaller teeth or big teeth. Nice, nice. This is also character creator. The fact that, one, the characters no longer look washed out and cold. They actually have normal skin tones and whatnot. That's going to help a lot. Yeah, the textures look a lot better too. Okay.
To release a replacement version, and on top of that, with 7.0 Dawn Trail, we will make sure that the graphics quality will be raised as high as we could.
Yeah,
意外とね
that's fair.
言われているほうれい線が気になる。これですね。全部のキャラ全部のデータでそのほうれい線が気になるって言われたものは全部ノーマルマップを
Were they making comments about tears?
And there were some comments about the lines, like wrinkles on the smile lines, like on the face, and there were some characters where we noticed that, and so we had to rebuild the normal map so that it addresses that.
していますので、改めて日付が変わった
Okay.
ら
I'm gonna skim through this a little bit.
僕の方からテキストでお知らせしようと思いますのでよろしくお願いします。
And so right now we're doing our adjustments with a target date of May 30th or 31st. 30 days has.
Oh,
or
okay, okay.
yeah,
So they're
May
gonna
has
have this around the
31 days.
31st. That's
And-
nice.
But anyways, there's a lot of items that we do need to revise. So we
1
aren't
second.
confident on the final release timing of the
Okay.
replacement version of the benchmark. So perhaps it
There you
might go beyond that weekend. But once we do determine a release timing, I
So
will
they're
make sure
looking
to
between May
make an
30th to
announcement
June
about it.
2nd. That makes sense.
はい。で、
はい。
もう一個だけ。これはもう皆さんにとってはプラスのお知らせ。幻想薬 に関して2点お知らせがあります。
And then one more, sorry. This is actually a good news for players, I'm hoping. With regard to Fantasia, there are two items that I want to relay.
まず
Oh,
7.0
cool,
が
cool,
リリ
cool.
ー
This
ス
is
された
actually
タイミン
important.
グ
This is
で、
important.
ウルダハに、
Because they were talking about giving us a free Fantasia to be able to play around with Character Creator about our races and whatnot, which is something I would like to do for.
そちらをプレイすると幻想薬1個手に入りますので、ぜひ、まあね、皆さんに今回グラフィックスアップデートしますよということで、幻想薬をお渡ししますっていうので、ちゃんとクエストとして入れて、そうするとね、今後遊ぶ方にもちゃんと届くと思うので、そういう形にさせていただきました。
So first, upon release of 7.0 Dawn Trail, there will be a quest giver in Ul'dah, and the level is going to be quite low, but it is going to be related to what is a Fantasia. And so by doing that quest, you will obtain one Fantasia. So I'm hoping that that'll be incentive to try out the character creation with a graphical update. And plus...
Okay, so they're probably going to make it like a level 15 quest or something like that, but it'll be an Ul'dah. You take it, you get a freebie. So for everybody starting the game, they're going to have access to 2 Fantasias, because they'll get one from the level, from beating Castrum, from beating Praetorium, sorry, and they get one from, this. So they'll have 2 Fantasias in case they're not happy after a while with their job, which is fantastic for those just starting the game with the free trial and everything. For those like myself who got a 1 or 2 extra from pre-orders, that means every time you start a new character, you get 4 Fantasias, which is fantastic too. It means you can play around with races a lot.
With that quest in place, it'll help new players understand what Fantasia does.
That's true. That's
で
also a good
もう一つは
idea.
幻想薬にちょっと仕様を一つ追加しました。
Okay.
And then another update to Fantasia is we're going to be adding another sort of specification or characteristic to it.
I wish it was one every other expansion. I mean, the main reason they don't do that is Fantasia is probably the #1 seller on their Smog Station store. And the person who runs the store is not directly part of Yoshida's team. So he has to work with the store people to try and manage that. Like this, he could argue like, yeah, they should get a free Fantasia in game because we're literally updating the characters to the point they're not going to look the same. So they should have 1 to 2 free Fantasias in order to experiment a little. But he's not going to be able to argue on every other expansion because ultimately it's going to take a lot from their sales. Which he doesn't have control over. Like I said, that person is part of a different team. He doesn't have control over them.
キャラメイクも、ライティングにはかなりこだわって今回改めて調整させてもらいましたし、できるだけ環境の
Like he's actually said he is terrified. And granted, he's probably joking, but he has said he's actually terrified of the lady who runs the Mog Station.
So of course, with the graphical updates, and you will see that in the updated new benchmark, as well as the 7.0 character creation, we were very particular about the adjustments we made to lighting, and there are environments in which you don't see that sort of generic blue background and the lights reflecting off of it, so that you can see how your character would look in-game.
とはいえやっぱりその見慣れた風景の中で自分が調整したキャラクターをやっぱ確認したいっていうご要望も、まあ、今回改めてすごく強いだろうなっていうのも感じたので、幻想薬を使用してから、60分 P タイムで60分内部的にはね
P タイム
なので別にログアウトしてもカウンターは止まるので、60分間であれば、再度調整できるっていう仕様を追加しました。
But that said, of course, you want to see your character in action in locations that you have gotten familiar seeing your character in. And we did receive a lot of feedback about how we want to make adjustments to characters afterwards. And so we are going to make it so that Fantasia within 60 minutes of playtime. So if you log out, the counter will kind of pause. But once using Fantasia, if you choose to, if you want to make adjustments to your character creation, you can do so within 60 minutes of using Fantasia.
ただしキャラメイクするたびに
Huh?
60分リセットされるわけじゃない
What does that mean within
そうなると
60
ね
minutes?
59分ですかさず変えっていうのができちゃうので1回使うと60分間っていうタイマーは止まらないんですけど微調整っていうのはねこうどんどん
What do they mean by that?
できるとは思うのでご活用いただければと思います
That said, that 60-minute counter only works the first time, so you can't go in like minute 59 and then reset the counter. It'll count your time if you make your readjustments as well. But that said, like if you messed up on something or if you want to make minor adjustments to characters after you have created it in the character creation screen, you can
Oh,
do so within 60 minutes of game playtime.
Oh, I get it. So basically, you get 60 minutes after you use the Fantasia, actually edited your character to go back and make minor changes. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So 60 minutes afterwards, if you want to make minor changes like change the eye color or change the skin tone, you can go back in the character creator, do it. You just can't change races or whatnot. Or genders. That makes sense. Okay. I like that change. That's a lot better. Okay. I'm picking up what y'all are putting down now. Okay. That's a fantastic change. Why did that take 10 fucking years?
Asking how many times you can make readjustments within that 60-minute time frame. There's no limitations on how many times you can go back in and change as long as it's within that 60-minute time frame. So you can try out all of the races, all of the different parameters that are included in the character creations if you wanted to.
You could. Oh, so it's not just minor stuff. It's actually you could change races and genders too within the 60 minutes. Oh, that's fantastic. That is actually fantastic because one, well, I hate to say it, but that's actually gonna probably hurt their sales a little bit. But that's gonna be still fantastic for those people who might want to do little minor changes because they weren't quite happy with like the eye color or something after playing it in game.
We were talking about lines on the face earlier and how, it would be nice if you.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be great for players. It's probably not gonna be the greatest for their bottom line sales for the MOG station, but I mean,
in the comments,
it's still not bad
of course,
because
people are happy about the Fantasia. That's good news. But also their comments about like, Yoshida's now looking better.
まあというわけで、しっかりね皆さんのキャラクターこれからも今回 7.0 でグラフィックスアップデート入りますけど今回だけじゃなくてこれからもねまた楽しんでいただけるようにこれまでのシステムっていうところもこういう機会にまた見直してね仕様を足したりっていうこと
No, that is a really good change to Fantasia. That's been like really good.
So of course, we talked in detail about character creation and things like that. But with 7.0 Dawn Trail, we will be applying our first graphical update. But we will continue to look at the different systems within the game to see where we can improve and make adjustments as needed. So I hope you look forward to the different updates.
Just so you know, Kalia, I haven't watched the job action, like outside of the job action trailer they just showed. I haven't watched anything on the live letter, so so far on the combat, I figured out that they're adding some kind of ability, just based on what I'm seeing from the trailer. They're adding an ability that activates right after you pop your 2-minute buffs, or 1-minute buffs for tanks. That combos with within it. And it looks like now they've removed Huton for Ninja? I don't know why they did that. But yeah.
Okay, so that was a very long preface, but we are
Let
now
me
going to
see,
jump
though,
into the
'cause-
actual meat of the presentation,
Oh.
which is the job updates.
Fantastic. Alright.
では本日のメイントピックの方に参りたいと
Where we have members
I
of our
really like
media
this
try
art, by the
out
way. I
these
want this as
different
a
jobs
wallpaper.
at level 100. And so you'll probably be seeing articles on their impressions or what they thought about the different jobs. So those will be coming soon. But for today, of course, we won't be able to discuss every single detail. But we
Yeah,
would like
I
to
can
touch
wait for the
upon some
media
of
tour to do that.
changes and the updates, any additions that were made.
Okay.
では行きましょう。まず最初。今回
Job actions, job adjustments, so this is gonna be general. I'm getting the figure. Yeah, if I actually had space and whatnot, I would.
So this is going to be across all of the jobs.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of obvious.
そこは
Okay, ease of
Plumbing
use.
the amount of actions that need to be assigned into a hotbar.
を増やさない、アイコンを増やさないっていうことを
Alright,
や
let
っ
me
て
see
き
what
ま
this
した。
says.
So of course we are trying our best so that we are not sort of overwhelming the amount of actions that need to be assigned into a hotbar with this sort of replacement system. And of course we didn't implement too many of those, I hope, but we were trying our best not to increase the amount of icons to put into the hotbars.
ただこれ
What have you
置き換え
added?
るとですね
What have you
変化してから
done?
誤爆するんだけど置き換わったやつにっていうのがございまして、まあ置き換えは我々設定はさせていただいてるんですけど、
What have you
プレイヤーの皆さん
done?
が任意に設定できるわけじゃなくて、我々がローテーションも考えて置き換えを設定してるんですけど、あえてもう置き換えなくていい
Action change
っていう
settings.
のが設定できるようになり
Alright,
ま
I'm
す。
curious.
That said, with the jobs kind of automatically replacing the same slot as you are doing your skill rotations, sometimes you don't want to have the next action automatically pop up into the same slot. And we have heard feedback from players that do not like that auto replacement. And so we have created a system in which you can choose to not have the next action replace the same slot.
まあな
Oh!
のでちょっともういいですよ出しちゃう。
Okay. Allows you to individually choose whether or not specific changing actions will be replaced by their follow-up counterparts upon execution.
という方はですね、この置き換え設定をまあオフにしていただければ。別々のアクションとしてこう設定することも可
I
能なの
thought
で
they were gonna like
まあこの
reduce
アクションを
buttons, but this
使って
sounds like they're
こ
giving
の
you
アク
the
ション
option to
は
add more
や
buttons.
めたい
Oh, you know
そういう
what?
設
This
定
might
できる
be
ようになります
specifically for like
まあまあ
Gunbreaker's
設定の
combo
部分だけ
instead of it like
入ってますというのをお知らせしています
you could probably separate it back into the individual
So,
buttons again.
as you can see on the screen, there will be a slot where it says action change settings. So if you don't want for some of the like combo steps to automatically replace a certain hotbar slot and you want it to be set up to be separate buttons, you vote and seeing how it feels.
What do you-
Do we want
Access these settings when you want to prevent error input from multiple button presses, or if you prefer the original control scheme.
to
Okay, that's
separate
not
out the
bad.
different actions so that you don't accidentally activate it when you don't need it, or what kind of feels more comfortable in your hands.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
というのがまあジョブ全
I
体
mean, it's
で
not
関わる
great
とこ
for
ろ
jobs like
でございます
frickin'
ということなので
Scholar,
まあここからは
where
順番にロールに分けて、中を見ていこうかなと思いますが、大丈夫ですか？
Okay, so that covers the elements that will be across all of the jobs. And so
Alright, let's
ま
go
ず一つ目
Jinx.
レベル90台でランパートと
Rampart and Job
各ジョブ
exclusive
固有の
30% damage reduction abilities. Okay.
各ジョブレベル90台で、さらにこれが
So this makes sense because
ってい
they
うのが
they
各ジョブ
did
ね
like the
各ジョブに入ってますよ
15%
というのが
at damage reduction
first is
actions last
Rampart
expansion.
and job
Now they're
exclusive 30%
upscaling.
damage reduction abilities will be upgraded in the 90s level range.
Yeah. We won't get to see the
これからですね
specific potencies or
レベル90
whatnot.
途中でですね
Oh!
ブライザルの効果時間がなんと15秒に
Oh, they're
はい
making
変更され
okay.
評価が入ります
Hmm.
And reprisal duration will be increased to 15 seconds in the 90s level range.
So this right here makes sense Because what this is telling me is this is to be a little more ease of use for new incoming tanks. I would suspect if this has been increased to 15 seconds, Feint and Addle probably have been as well. This is just to be a little more forgiving for things like AoEs and whatnot. And it could be that the upcoming raid scene at level 100 is probably going to have longer damage dealing abilities. Things like a boss is doing multiple hit raid wides. So this may make sense in that regard. This is also... Yeah, the enhanced reprisal is nice. I'm guaranteeing you, right now, I will bet money on this. Feint and Addle, which also reduce damage, will also be 15 seconds. Because right now I think they're all like 9-10 seconds, something like that. So it makes sense across the board for all of them to equally be increased to 15. Now, Rampart and Job exclusive 30% damage reduction abilities being upgraded. It's probably either going to stay 30%, but it's going to add like extra healing power to it, similar to how things like bloodwetting and whatnot work, or they're going to increase it to 50% damage reduction, but make the thing longer. Something like that. We'll see when at least a snapshot of what it could look like in when the media tour is done. But I would suspect it's one of those two. But this is actually great because this is a lot more forgiving in regards to raid wides and everything else. So that's a fantastic.
And of course, with the 30% buff enhancement, there are additional effects that will be applied to each of the different tank jobs. I'm not going to dive into details right here.
Okay, so they're going to do something like either the healing, maybe a healing after
like
the ability finishes, something like that.
Enhancements for each of the tank job.
So basically, they're upscaling them to be on par with the bloodwetting, heart of conundrum, stuff like that. That makes sense.
ほぼ同タイミングで入れた場合にですね、サーバーでどっちのが後でどっちがその被ったかをそれぞれ違うメッセージで出すとかはね、やっぱりさすがに難しいんで。
Wait, I thought she was somewhere else. Oh, they've green screened her.
There's a comment
They green
about
screened her in the background.
It would be great if we can get some kind of notification if the other tank casts reprisal and it was at the same timing, but that involves trying to get the system to communicate which tank cast reprisal first and sending a different message to the one that came in later, so that's a little bit difficult to do. So you might want to discuss amongst your party to see who's going to pop your mitigation.
No. Y'all need to learn how to fucking communicate when someone's gonna do reprisal and stop being silent. That's the whole basics of in-game raiding is being able to communicate when you're gonna coordinate your buffs and your mitigations.
There's another
Stop trying to ask the game to do everything for you.
Can we extend the effects of reprisal to 90 seconds? But then, okay, then can we do a variable of damage dealt by enemy? So 90 seconds times the 15 seconds per.
Yeah, so use your words when raiding people. Yeah, the ones who are asking there, the ones who don't want to actually talk to anybody when they're raiding and get annoyed by shit easily. No, it's fucking stupid.
So going into the
I guarantee you,
jobs now,
Zeno,
again to reiterate,
Zenos and the other people are like, heard that and they're like, nah, bro, communicate.
So just going through some of the key points.
Ooh, okay. Okay, yeah, they're key points. Second and third executions of atonement have been changed to new. Oh, that's neat. Okay, so atonement. Okay, so Paladin's atonement combo is basically Gunbreaker's combo kind of now. Instead of it just being the same attack 3 times, it's now a 3-button combo.
So
That's
first point,
nice.
the second and third executions of Atonement have been changed to new actions with separate animations.
I mean, to be
Atonement
fair,
will
that was
change
something
to
I
these actions
thought
automatically on the
should have
hotbar.
happened with
So input
Paladin.
execution will remain the
Also, I
same.
find it funny that they used a
But yeah,
red-haired
that
cat
kind of
boy for
differentiate the look
Paladin
of it, I think,
because
is what we're trying to aim
one of the
for
most
here.
famous
まあ
tanks
こういうのこそなんかこうその
is Sam,
切り替え
aka
で新しい
Kasul,
アクション作るみ
who
たい
is
な
well
こ
known
とが
for
まあ
accidentally
これもどうにかすれ
taking
ばいいから
LB3 off his raid bar
I think
during
this is where that sort of automatic replacement of the
I think it
next
was like
action
Titan
comes
Eden
in very handy. You
4S
can just
4
press the
Savage,
same button,
where he
and then it'll
literally
go to the
they
next step
would have
automatically.
actually
まああとはですね
won the
ファー
poll
スト
had he been able
使ってい
to
る
do
グレ
the
ード
thing.
オブホニャララ
Okay, I saw
まあ
that
あと
one
に
during the
さらに
trailer.
追撃っていう
So
のが
now
まあ
the
入ってたり
Confiteor
そ
combo
のまま素直にア
is
ップ
like
デートされてるん
5
ですね
buck, not Confiteor, is it? Yeah, it is
And
Confiteor.
then,
It's
when
now
you're
a
in that sort of
5-button
damage
combo.
burst phase, and those blades of something something is executed. Of course, with the raised level cap, we will add another tier to that.
Yeah.
まああとは
So
ガー
now
ドレー
that's
ルの
a
好条件
5-button.
こう
I wonder if...
Right.
Alright, with that being a 5-button, I'm going to guess... Actually, let me look up something. Alright, so... I'm looking up something on Paladin, because I've it's been a while since I've played, There we go. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so right now, you use your Requiscot on that combo. So, what I'm gonna guess is Requiscot is now gonna have 5 stacks instead of 4 to cover this new ability.
実行に変更したりとかいろいろ
So that's another change you're gonna make is Requiscot will be 5 stacks instead of 4.
しますのでまあないと
Since you actually you buff
And then this might be a minor, well, less major adjustment. In order to execute Goring Blade, you will have to have Fight or Flight executed.
Oh! So Goring Blade is now Primal Rend. Okay, that makes sense.
戦士行きましょう
Okay, so they've turned Goring Blade into
Next is
Primal
Warrior.
Rend. Nice to know.
戦士も
So they're taking
基本は
bits from
レベルアップ
other
になって純粋に
Okay, new action which can be executed after 3 executions of Fail Cleave or
4
Decimate
つ目
while inner release is active will be
まあ
added.
にあごめんいいよあゆみさん先
Okay.
Hey,
So
with
they're adding a
Warrior also, this is
finisher.
just, for the most part, just simply transitioning up because of the raised level cap.
Alright, so this right here, if you remember in Shroud with Reaper, how at the very end you would use, fuck, I forget the button for it, but the boomy AoE. Yeah, they're doing that with Warrior. They're giving him basically a finisher after their Fell Cleave, because I think...
inner release is active will be added. So this is, I think you may have noticed it in the job action trailer. So
Yeah.
you might notice it.
Yeah, so you'll do like Fell Cleave, Fell Cleave, Fell Cleave. Oh wow, Primal Rend is going to be a combo now. That's interesting.
And then next one is a new action that can be executed after Primal Rend will be added. So
No.
Another sort of big damage dealing
Yeah, I saw that
action will
ability.
be added for the damage burst phase.
My question on it is that going to be interruptible by being able to like weave these in between Fell Cleaves, or if you're gonna have to do them before or after? It's gonna be interesting to see how Opener changes with that.
見飽きてきたってやつはちょっと新しいグラフィックスに変えたりしてるものもございます
And in addition, kind of like how we saw it in the Paladin, but not really, the effects and the animation for Inner Chaos will be changed. We're trying to update some of the look of these effects that you see that for those that may have been kind of, how to say, people
Interesting.
have gotten tired of looking at.
Okay, so they're gonna increase the infuriate buffed Fellcleave version, which is fine because that's actually completely underwhelming in
There were some
comparison
comments about, well,
to
you can update things
the
that
other one,
people have gotten tired
the
of looking
AoE.
at, but please don't change Fellcleave's visual effects. But I totally understand how exhilarating that is. So yeah, we'll keep Fellcleave as is.
Please do. We like the sound and just the feeling of chainsawing something to death.
Okay, next is Dark Knight.
So
they reduce the number of-
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting. So, this right here for Dark Knight means that basically Blood Weapon is going to be the berserk to Warriors of later on inner release. So that actually makes sense. In all honesty, I mean it kind of sucks since sometimes Blood Weapon was up
So,
when
to reduce
you
the
still
number
had a
of
little bit
inputs
till
during
Delirium.
burst damage phases.
But-
These are the changes that we are making.
But yeah, that makes sense. Just turn Blood Weapon into Delirium and you don't have to weave that in as much. Now, what are they gonna do though with I wonder if they're doing anything with Flood / Edge of Shadow if they're keeping that part of it.
心地とかこう工夫する余地っていうのを増やしていきたいってまあコンテンツに関してはそれらを今回7点まあ
Gunbreaker, from what it looked like in the trailer, looks a lot busier. And I'm not sure that's a good thing, because it was already one of the busiest fucking jobs.
And the reason for this change is sort of cleaning up and streamlining some of the busyness that happens during the burst damage phase for 7.0 anyways. And then I did mention about how we want to improve the not playability, but like how players can strategize and sort of make
Okay.
kind of work their strategies, as well as the developers kind of do creative things through 7.0. So right now we're just kind of streamlining it for this expansion, and once we get to say 8.0, we'll start kind of enhancing the individualities of some of these jobs.
Oh! Okay, so you're reworking tanks next expansion to finally give them some individuality. Okay. Good. That's one of the bitches I've actually had about how similar all the tanks kind of feel now. Like, a lot of Dark Knight's original identity has been lost. So I'm curious to see if they'll start bringing some of that back. That would be fantastic.
I kind of blurted 8.0, but we have yet to release 7.0. But whenever we're talking about drastically changing the different mechanics of the jobs, or making it more interesting, more fun to play, and it relates to kind of upholding the system.
I'm curious to see what they're doing with Dragoon and Astro, because it looks like with Astro you can now pull like 3 or 4 cards in one go, so I want to see what the fuck they're doing with that
We've
shit.
actually started to talk about like what direction we want to take.
I didn't see
this
much different
into,
with Dragoon,
like
so I don't think
2
they did
months
like a full-ass
ago
rework with it.
already,
They
so-
might have just tweaked it a little bit.
8.0
To be fair, I was hoping they wouldn't change Dragoon too much.
みたいな
Spoiler.
Nope.
No.
今回お話ししてる内容
A new action that can be executed after Living Shadow will be added. Okay.
So of course, with Living Shadow, we will also be making adjustments to itself, Living Shadow itself, so that you won't need to consume black blood and execute.
いやもうエーシング弦の読み方でさ、
はい
みんな
That's interesting. Okay.
動揺してる方もいて、鏡
I'm
じゃない
guessing they're gonna tweak what Living Shadow actually
今回直前
uses
になって
to probably make it on par with Ninja's Shadow.
難しそうなやつはルビー入れないかって言って入れたんですけど、よかったなと
よかったよかったよかっ
よかったねと思って、はい。
So I'm glad we have the way to read it in there.
余談でした。こんなやってたら本当にダメだ。時間終わんなくなるわ。
Sorry.
次の映画行きましょう。
Taking way too much time.
Alright, let's see what you're doing, Gunbreaker.
ガンブレーカーもまっすぐ正当進化で
Can be a
ポケットサークル
continuation.
に
Oh, okay.
追加してます。
So yeah, they're adding
コンティニエーションなしでね
they're making it a 2-hit combo for the gauge
ロック
AoE,
出しちゃっても大丈夫。
which is actually pretty good.
ブラッドソイル後に発動できる3段
Ugh.
追加しております。
Why?
So of course with Gunbreaker, this also is just level up with the cap being raised. So first point says a new action that can be executed after Fated Circle.
Why did
The
they have another 3-hit combo?
continuation will be added.
They already have
And then a new
2.
3-step combo that can be executed after Bloodfest will be added.
ま
I
あ
wonder if this is going to be just I wonder if they're just updating the 3-hit combo for normal, or if this is just a special one that's only for Bloodfest.
People were trying to speculate end of heart.
Oh, let me.
But yes, this one, Yoshida did remember the name. This end of heart.
One second.
まあ、あ
Let
と
me.
はソニックブレイクの実行条件をちょっと
There you
ノーマーシーの実行に変更したりとか、まあ、バースト周りでもうちょっと手触り良くなるような調整っていうのもさせてもらったりはしてます。
There you
And
go.
then there were some adjustments also for Sonic Break to be executed. We're going to be changing it to having No Mercy available. So yeah, when you execute No Mercy, it'll go to Ready to Break.
やば、エンドオブハートめちゃめちゃ盛り上がってますよ。
Okay.
そう
So Sonic Break will only be activate during the window.
エンドオブハート
I mean, it makes sense because you want to save it for that window anyways. Because I'm pretty sure Sonic Break's the dot, right?
なんていうの？そう
Yeah.
グローバルクールダウンがあるからさ、めっちゃ長い技にはできないからうまく3段でこう表現してたりするから、
なるほど。
その辺の苦労をちょっと分かっていただけると、モーションチームとかね VFX チーム頑張って作ってましたので、はい、よろしくお願いします。
FYI, the English name is Lionheart. But in any case, the animation team and those who are involved with trying to bring this action to life worked really hard. So I'm hoping that people will enjoy that.
はいはい。じゃあ、タンクは以上でございます。はい。そうそうそう。これはあれかな、メレー DPS。
Oh, I like the Viper art of the female cat. Ooh. And they went Bun Boy for Reaper? Nice.
それがいいと
ほい
思います。
ほいほい。
So I think we will go through
Yes,
the melee
Lionheart.
DPS, of course, with showing off the Viper, and then call it the first half, and then go.
I mean, it's
into
a
bit of
squall thing,
break.
so of course they're gonna
Yes, that
reference
sounds like
his
fun.
weapon.
はい
I'm not surprised.
では、近接物理 DPS 共通のまず変更点から
Okay.
いきましょう。
Okay, so melee DPS updates that are made across the board.
まずレベル90
Let's fucking
回
go!
復量が増えます。
Second wind's healing
second
potency
wind
being
healing
increased is
potency will be
fantastic.
increased in the 90s level range.
さらにですね、レベル90
Oh,
台
there we go!
牽制の効果
Fate's duration increased to 15 seconds. Fucking called it,
And then
which means
Fate's
Atlas too.
Duration will be increased to 15
Damn, I'm good.
seconds in the 90s level range. Somewhere in the 90s level range.
This is probably gonna be like, I would guess this is probably gonna be about 94 to 96's ability. Actually, no, it'd probably be 98.
なので
Because that's what they did with some other stuff last expansion was they did it at the 8. So it'll probably be level 98 or 94. Well, those two.
So yeah, this kind of is whenever things get busy with the different controls.
Okay.
ベースだったんです
Alright, let me look at Monk. Basic combo mechanics will no longer center around maintaining a buff or damage over time. Instead, performing actions in a certain order will increase the next action's potency. The feel of the job will remain largely the same while alleviating uncertainty about which action to use on rotation. Okay. So, they're removing the damage over time from Demolish. And they're removing the buff from Twin Snakes. Which means what they're doing now is the 1-2-3 combo. Okay, so that's what that new gauge was. There's like, in the job trailer, there's like a gauge at a 1, a 2, and a 3. So what that means is basically you do a 1-2-3 and that's marking that the potency of your attack's been increased. Okay, so that's what they're doing. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it because I actually do like sorry, I feel like a lot of the positionals part has already lost a lot of Monk's identity a bit.
Updated the mechanics itself.
Not a huge fan of it, but I can understand this is for
how to
kind of increase the lower end of the floor, skill floor, because Monk is
enhancements and things
very
like that.
heavy to learn.
But instead, with this update, it'll more be about enhancing your next action by utilizing a specific combo route in the chakra, while
oh, that's fantastic. Can accumulate up to a total of 10 chakra while Brotherhood is active. Okay, so to explain that one, Brotherhood, when active, any party member who hits a crit gets a chance, like 100% chance, to increase the chakra of the monk. So what this does is allows Monk to prevent chakra overflow from losing forbidden chakra attacks from getting overcapped. So that's a fantastic use.
Brotherhood is active, so that you can.
All right, let's look at Dragoon.
So
to reduce positional requirements for the single target combo, the 5th combo action has been changed to a new non-directional action, Drake's Bane. Fang and Claw / Wheeling Thrust will change to Drake's Bane, so input execution will remain the same. So basically, instead of doing your 1-2-3, go to either the flank or the rear, and then go to the other, you now just have to go to that one, use Drake's Bane, and you have a little extra time while you're doing the second combo to get over to the spot for the next positional. So basically, this is also to raise that skill floor because you're not doing 2 positionals one right after the other, which is kind of part of what they've been trying to do since Shadowbringers, and removing a lot of the positionals to make it easier for the lower end of the skill floor to get up there.
with the Dragoon,
Not
we tried not to like
huge fan of this one either, because I actually do like the challenge of positionals to add, but I can understand it and can tolerate and accept
like the
it.
business, and also trying to work with the different positionals, and we tried to alleviate that with some of the automatic replacement of actions as you do your rotations and things like that.
まあコンボのこれね5段目に新しいアクション入るんですけど、こちらは
Ooh, okay. Let's see what else they've
置き換え
changed.
になるので、しかも方向指定がない
That's actually a fantastic Dragoon change, though. Well, okay, not a fantastic one, but it's fantastic for, like I said, the lower skill floor. I'm not a huge fan of this one.
The first point says to reduce positional requirements for the single target combo, the 5th combo action has been changed to a new non-directional action.
蓄積しなくても
To facilitate maximum damage output at the beginning of a battle, Life of the Dragon will be available without accumulating Dragon Gauge. Oh, Pog! Okay. So you can literally go into red mode and use the really cool jump, the name I forget, in your opener now. That is fantastic. 'Cause that's one of the big complaints was both Monk and Dragoon's best damage dealing attacks are outside of your initial burst window. That is
流血発生
fantastic
と
change.
いう変更を行っております。
What about the next one?
And then also rest and disembowel, and there's a lot.
To reduce the number of inputs during burst damage phases, certain actions will be removed or adjusted. Stardiver, yeah. So now you can do Stardiver in your opener. That's a good
animation
change.
And new motions.
That was actually one of the
are,
biggest disappointments with
added
Stardiver
with
was the fact you
those,
could
so
not use it in your
those
opener.
might be something to look out for.
まあ、上位機会はね、やっぱ新しいアクションがレベル上がることで追加されてね、強くてかっこいい技が増えるっていうのは
大事です。
普通に大事だと思うので。
With the level cap being raised and having new actions added because of that, like you want to have like cool looking effects, I think.
あとは火力を上げるために打っていたスパインダイブさんをちょっと今回なくしまして、純粋に移動に使える移動アクションを追加していたりします。
And then
Alright, let's see Ninja.
ご覧になっても
Okay. That's what I thought when I saw the gauges. They've taken out Huton. For if you don't know, Huton is the wind buff that increases your speed. And you had to constantly refresh it either through casting a ninjutsu. If it got removed, you had like a option, a little a melee attack that would refresh it. And you also could refresh it using a 3-hit combo. So that's now a trait and is always active. Huton will be changed to an AoE attack, which grants the effect of hidden. Oh, okay. So here's the cool thing about this. What that's gonna mean is Huton will now be part of your AoE rotation. If it grants the effect of hidden, I'm gonna guess maybe trick attack will now be an AoE? That would be nice.
すぐ多分気づかれたと思うんですけど、フートンの術をなくしたわけじゃなくて、攻撃速度上昇、まあヘイストがかかるっていう部分は常時発動にして、
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is kind of the last of the buffs that was changed, like Grease Lightning,
so you may have noticed this in the job action
Inoki, and
for
all
the
that.
video,
This was the last
but,
one left, so
Huton,
I understand it.
That has not gone away, but instead it has become a sort of trait so that your movement speed or attack speed, or I guess that
Yeah.
enhancement where you're on
It also frees up,
is going to be constantly on.
it also frees up,
まあ、あとは一番でかいのはや
ninjutsu.
っぱフートンの術の効果時間を示してた長らく風車さんがお亡くなりに
いなくなってた。
なりまして、
Actually, you could use Huton as part of the opener. Now,
And of
as,
course,
like, the
with
very
the
first, if
Huton
you want to.
becoming more of a trade, of course, the windmill that you saw, goodbye windmill, R.I.P.
Bye,
but,
windmill!
there will be another HUD element that kind of
Can't
accommodates for the
I can't wait. Someone is going to make a YouTube short, and it's just going to be the windmill getting smaller in the distance, and it's going to go, in the arms of an angel. And it's going to be great.
the new additional element that
I
we're
guarantee you
including.
someone's going to do that. It's going to be
そこまで
hilarious.
大きくは変わらないので大丈夫かなという感じです。はい、続いてもう一個出した
Actions which extend the duration of Huton's effect will be adjusted in accordance with the above change.
One more.
Which means Armor Crush is probably going to do something different. The actual little Huton thing, Smack will be adjusted.
So actions which extend the duration of Huton's effect will be adjusted in accordance with the above change.
That's going to be interesting.
はい、大丈夫かな。はい。では続いて侍に行こうと思います。
Okay, let's see what Samurai's getting.
Samurai.
まず一つ目。
To simplify recast management, Tsubame Gaeshi will be changed to be executable after Meikyo Shishui. Ooh. Ooh. Alright, so Tsubame Gaeshi. Which one was that one? Let me remind myself real quick. I'm pretty sure that's the repeat thing, right? What are built? What? Tsubame Gaeshi. Oh, yeah, the recast of previous Aijutsu. Okay, and can hold 2 charges. Okay. So you'll cast Meikyo, and then you'll cast, like, Goken, the normal well, actually, no. I don't think you'd even do the AoE Conal anymore. Well, no, you would. Yeah, so you'll either do the AoE or the frontal or the
So
nuke
first
attack.
point says to simplify recast management, Tsubame Gaishi will be changed to be executable after Meikyo Shisui.
Makes sense, and it could probably replace Meikyo Shisui as well, which might be awesome.
天下五剣、乱れ雪月下の上位アクションっていうのが今回、純粋に追加されている。
Ooh! So
And of
Hakaze,
course,
Tenka
this
Goken,
is
and
also just a
Midare.
simple sort of level up. And
Yeah,
so
they're getting a
Hakaze,
visual
Tenka
makeover
Goken,
and potency
Midare Setsugekka
increase.
will be
Okay,
upgraded into new actions.
that makes
だから
sense.
遊びやすくする調整っていうのと、まあ
It's
レベルアッ
about
プ
time to
の
tweak up
上位
those
アクション
actions to look a little
追加っていうの
sexy.
も
I think that's
侍
the
は
ones we were
ご承知
seeing in the trailer. That
So
I
of
was like,
course,
these look new.
It's very simple, I guess. Adjustment made to make it a bit more comfortable to play, and then with the level capping raised, there'll be additional. No longer increase the shroud gauge by 50, and instead will allow execution of Enshroud.
Now it can be used when gauges at 51 or more without waste. Oh, okay. So, I know what this is about. There were occasions where sometimes, like, mostly with AoE situations, where you'd be spending more gauge, spending gauge to the point that you were actually overcapping at points for Enshroud. So what that means now is instead of overcapping on Shroud, Plentiful Harvest is just going to allow you a free Enshroud. That actually makes sense. It's similar to Monk's Brotherhood making it 10 stacks of chakra instead of 5. It's just to prevent overflow in certain situations. It's actually not a bad change.
A feeling of waste.
I think they actually,
Yeah.
from what I saw in the job trailer, they did this already with Red Mage, because I saw them do a free sword combo, so they did this probably with Manification. So Manification is probably the same as this now.
Now can be used when gauge is at 51 or more without waste.
あとはまあ純粋アップ
A new action that can be executed while enshrouded will be added. I'm going to guess that this is actually a combo off of... Oh god, 1 second. Why am I not remembering abilities right now? 1 second. Communio. That's probably gonna be a combo off of Communio.
Hell's Ingress. Hell's Ingress and
Ingress.
Hell's Egress.
いいです。あ
Ingress
まあ
and Ilgress.
カタカナのままだと思います。
Okay.
そのままでした。
はい。
Yeah, I think I saw they got like a
これ
new
はね
upgrade
むずいよね。もう
to
だってさ、アクション
like an attack for
全部
using it.
ちなみに僕一個あゆみさんフォローしていいですか？どうぞ。
すいません。
あゆみさん
1 second, because this one was also something new I noticed. Was that they were able to
でも
do like a new upgraded like cool looking attack after they used egress, I believe.
14辞書を PC にインストールしてあって入力すると全言語が出るのをリアルタイムに通訳しながら検索をしてっていうのをやってたりするんですごいんですよっていうフォローをさせてください。
めっちゃマルチタスクしてます。すいません。 Sorry, guys.
まあ、ぶっ
There
こ
was
が
a bit
言
of a
って
pause.
あげてほしいね。
Ah,
今
yeah, yeah. I mean, Yoshida-san just mentioned how great Aimi is. I mean, basically, she memories all the actions, weapon names, and then even with that, she
Well,
always
that's because, like, her very first live letter, people fucking roasted her ass for calling Shield a Shield of Oath.
Check up,
When she was literally just translating what Yoshida said. She was like, I will never make that mistake again.
She works.
Poor girl was
Such a
raked
great
over
job. Yeah.
the coals by Twitch chat. Like, it was bad.
これはなんだっけ、あれよくなんだっけな、開発でよくなんて呼んでたっけな。
Alright, let's see what Viper's got.
みんなお手洗いとか行きません？
Ugh. I'm not gonna lie, I like how it looks like two fangs. That's actually pretty clever.
1時間50分経ちましたね。
うん。
Oh.
だってゆっくり見たいでしょ。
はは。
We want to
どう
take
で
our
すか？
time with this, right?
どうですか？
Can we take like a little bit of a bathroom break?
いきなりここでトイレは甘いとか言ってる人。ここでする
I'm
から
still liking this art.
Oh. Some people are saying
タバコ
no.
Oh, okay, here's the separate, video for Viper. Oh wow, this is actually really nice. Why are they showing Tutalol again? Tutalol. To your mom, because I don't know how to say this damn thing. Oh, I guess they're showing him walking through the zones now? Or they might have actually taken a bathroom break and just showing this footage in the meanwhile. Because I'm pretty sure all this footage has been seen before. I still want to see what's going on with this zone. Like, this looks so cool and futuristic and so unlike anything Final Fantasy's ever done before. I mean, this is a giant reference to Terra. Like, it feels like so far they're definitely taking a lot of elements from both 9 and 10 and combining them into one area. Because, like, we've got some of the races from 10. This right here reminds me a lot of Moonflow. Well, not Moon. I think it was Moonflow Forest or something. But also, like, Central American vibes, too. Like, I feel like we're gonna probably enter their version of Mount Ronzo, which is pretty cool. And this zone right here reminds me, so towards the beginning of 9, when you're running away with Princess Garnet, there's actually an area where she separates off with her guard and is about to go back to town and changes her mind and turns back around. And you're actually in this desert at the bottom of a hill with like a train that train thing that goes up and down the hill. So this zone right here reminds me a lot of it, actually. I like the fact there's an actual saloon, too. Ugh. A lot of the housing in this zone here reminds me a little bit of Based. Also, this zone appears to have a lot of the flowers from, this right here is actually Moonflow Forest. Like, I would expect to be able to run up and down the tree trunks as part of it. Not Moonflow Forest. I forget what the forest is called in 10. Alright, so this is a dungeon. Like, this right here, like, all of this is the first dungeon, I'm pretty confident. Oh shit, going up the ladder, looking pretty good there with that. This right here is probably gonna be my favorite dungeon. This definitely feels like the Source's version of Ronco Civilization. If you notice with the theme, there's even tones of not Endwalker, but actually a little bit Endwalker. Oh, this is their digital fanfest. Wait. 1 second, I'm gonna pause here. Alright, so this zone right here actually reminds me of a Final Fantasy XI zone called Rakazner. That's actually, interestingly enough, that is actually from Secrets of Adeline, which was the last paid expansion. And you actually end up fighting Hades in that one. Their version of Hades. Which was actually a lot less cooler than Emmett Salt. He was more of a dick. Oh yeah! The 2021 Digital Fan Fest. Okay, yeah, they're on a bathroom break. Oh, they're doing another concert? Man, I'm glad Soken's, like, doing well still. Let me see.
Okay, so we are going to jump back in
Cool.
with Viper, but just wanted to quickly go over its characteristics via this PowerPoint.
Okay.
まずはですね
Fast-paced job that fluidly shifts between dual blades and double-bladed strikes and their various combos and abilities. Yeah, so it looks like this right here is actually a shroud. So it looks like they're taking bits from Reaper and combining it with bits of, like, Red Mage. It honestly feels like a mix between Red Mage and Reaper. I know I said Dragoon earlier, but no, it definitely feels like a Reaper and Red Mage combo with how their gauges work at least. Basically, you get once you get 3 of these, you can go into this from what it's showing. Has a similar total of actions as other jobs, but designs that fewer actions need to be set on the hotbar. Okay. Oh!
Of course, the mountains
Beautiful
are
mountains.
very pretty.
Oh, look at how pretty that mountain is. Like, that looks like Mount Olympus, actually. That's cool. Heh. So they can oh, by the way, this right here, this is their gear set for Painter. That's how not Painter, Pictomancer's icon's gonna look. I guarantee. Wow. Look at this. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's only 19 buttons on here. I could fit that in 2 hotbars. I like it. Well, to a degree.
The costume we're all too familiar from Yoshida's appearance at the fan festival.
Wait a minute, this background music.
Too late.
All those gift boxes.
Yeah,
icons.
dummy icons.
They've got dummy icons for this build. That's why all the gear was looking like presents. It's fantastic. This part I'm gonna play as is. The reason why I'm skimming through a lot of what they're talking about is sometimes they're not exactly like giving all the points. They're just kind of like talking, taking a little while to talk about the same thing they put on there.
はい GM コマンドが使えませんこれやばくねえこれ
What's he even doing messing?
IL これいくつになってるあメディアツヤになってる
あ、そうですね。
あーじゃあ大丈夫かなあーびっくりした
Double checking our
Save.
item level, etc.
あー危な危なこれねいつもの
God damn, 100k freaking health at level 100, over 100k for a DPS. That's fantastic.
別のサーバーなので危なーいやいやびっくり
So we're probably getting another numbers crunch in 8.0. Just a fair warning, we're getting another numbers crunch. They're not gonna keep.
God mode type A servers. We're actually in the environment of the media tour.
まずさっきお話しした二刀流
Look, there's a little llama in the background. Look at the little llama. Oh god, that means llamas are attackable
So first,
enemies.
let us
Oh
look
no.
at the dual blade
Oh
weapon
ま
no.
あ実際
They're gonna
に
summon
いろんなものを混ぜていく
meteors.
のでこれが別にローテーションというわけじゃないんですけどちょっとまず前提を分かりやすくするためにいきます
One second.
So of course, with the actual combo skill
the fuck
rotations,
is
you
that?
will need to kind of weave in
What was it?
between the different actions and weapon skills. But just showing off what this
Never
set
mind.
looks like.
I'm finally home safe.
中段にある
Well, I'm glad you're home.
4と5の数字がついて
You're
るとこ
just
ろ
in
に
time to watch
なんとなく
Yoshida play as
And so if you're focusing
Viper.
on row 2 of the hotbars, especially the ones that said 4 and 5.
Okay, this is
基
interesting.
本だと思ってますアクションが置き換わってるの多分分かります
Wait,
And you may be able to see that the actions are automatically replaced with the next
the next button, girl.
はい、変わってますね。いや、ビッグチェンジです。
Wait a minute.
これが二刀流ってやつ
Which button was he
this is
pressing?
the dual blade.
で、合体剣ウェポンスキルを使い
So
ます
next is the double blade weapon skill.
There are two combos here.
今のこの下段に並んでるのが最初から
Interesting.
ブレードを合体させて攻撃
Alright, so from what it's looking like, the main two buttons, 4 and 5 here, were both combos. So is their combat actually more similar to their combat may actually be more similar to Dragoon mixed with Reaper. Interesting.
していくウェポンスキル
Yeah,
So
they
the
have own
actions that are assigned to that bottom row, row 1, are those double blade weapon skills.
で、こうやって攻撃を繰り返していくとですね、ゲージが溜まっていきます、
So of course, as you continuously execute your different skills, the gauge will accumulate.
で
Okay.
このゲージを消費してこのそれおろしっていう必殺状態に入るオーラバーストみたいなやつだと思ってください
So when you accumulate enough in that gauge up there, you go into a boosted mode called Reawaken.
でその状態に入ると
Ah,
合体
y'all didn't want to call it trance. Call it what it is. It's literally Zidane's trance.
And so once you have that reawaken mode, you can execute the different double-bladed abilities.
ちょっとやってみますね、
はい。
We're gonna try some of them out.
わおおお
So it looks like some of this stuff is also, if I had to guess, I, I think my estimation of Monk is wrong.
暴れ出しました。
I think this is actually a combo of Reaper and
こ
Dancer.
ういう感じで
It looks like a lot of these abilities seem to be... Oh,
同じアクションを連打してる多分見えると思
So because the actions are automatically replaced on the hotbar, it might look like you're pressing the same button, but as you can see, there are many different skills and abilities that are being unleashed.
yeah, I think this might actually be a case where they have
think you
like a
might be able to get a
50%
feel of
chance
how-
of
just how quickly
popping
we're moving.
certain
う。もっとゆっ
skills.
くり回してっていうお声もあるん
It
ですけど
definitely looks very like confusing from here. I would have to actually get to
We
play
want
this.
The skill rotation executed slower, but
ゆっくり回すと軽く下がるんですよね
but if you go slowly, the damage output kind of slows down too.
あ
Yeah.
の
The Japanese says sore oroshi. Sounds very similar to soken, but not soken.
God, I love how the job looks though. Like everything on it is so flashy. Also, poor Aimee. I keep blocking her
でも
view.
話す内容としては割とシンプルただ
Of course, some of the combos, it doesn't require you to do it, but like, say for example, you're in an instance dungeon, and once you kind of like have your tank pulled up all the mobs kind of together, you can go from that sort of single target double blade, or sorry, single target dual blade weapon skills to switch over to the AoE dual blade abilities.
Yeah, this like alone was very confusing. The way they've got the buttons set
用
up.
意されてるし
So, you do need to be a bit strategic, depending on how you want to approach, say, like a boss. Or there are also some close-ranged attacks that are available for the Viper.
あとは特定でこう遠隔攻撃が使えるようになってそれで
Yeah.
遠隔コンボがあるみたいな
It definitely looks like a mix between Dancer and Dragoon though.
まあその効果があるうちに使うべき
To decide on the appropriate action.
であとはまあせっかく文句からバフでバフ
Viper, but you know, I was also kind of worried myself because when I first started the check process and looked at the documents that are related to the Viper job, I was like, what does this all say? Increase
Okay.
in the defensive ability.
Yeah, I'm gonna skim through it a little more. One, because I can already tell, like, if I don't otherwise, we're gonna be here till 6, and I have to leave a little bit early. Alright, so looks like for ranged, second wind also applies to them, the healing potency increase. Looks like, ooh, job damage reduction of job exclusive defensive abilities will be increased to 15% at the 90s level range. So, that would be like probably Shield Samba, Troubadour, and Tactician are now all going to be 15% damage reduction, which is fantastic. So that's good. Let's look at Bard. Mage's Ballad. Harmy's Payout and the Wonders Minuet will be changing into buffing attacks which do not affect attack enemies. Finally! This has been a change that's been absolutely needed because a problem with certain fights last expansion, a prime example would be the Phoenix fight from the first tier, because due to the fact that at a certain point the boss is not targetable, and your ads are not really targetable, and the ads are not targetable for a moment, songs would drop off at a certain point, and you actually couldn't keep the rotation of songs. They would very often drop off and or be delayed because you couldn't target an enemy to activate the buff. I don't know why in Endwalker they had changed it to where those three, or Shadowbringers, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was actually Shadowbringers. But around Shadowbringers, Endwalker time frame, they changed it to where you had to hit an enemy with it. It wasn't a change I liked. I don't think it was a change most people liked, because it made it very hard to keep songs up at all times. Which then dropped off Bard's own DPS, let alone other people. So that's a good change. Pitch Perfect will be changed to an AoE attack for ease of use and counters with multiple enemies. That's perfect, because Wanderer's Minuet felt so weak when it came to multiple groups of enemies. Like, Mage's Ballad was just so much better for that. So it's nice that they're making it to where now you don't have to change up the rotation based on it being multiple enemies. Because it used to be you had to replace Wanderer's Minuet with Mage's Ballad first.
Procs, the single attack proc Straight Shot Ready, and then AoE proc Shadow Bite Ready will become merged, so that we can kind of organize the elements. So the procs are going to be kind of streamlined, so to speak.
Okay, so they're streamlining procs, sort of making it to where they're activated at the same time.
You want to utilize your proc for a single target attack or an AoE attack.
Okay, that's not bad. That's nice.
他にも使いやすくなるよう
That
に
makes
調
sense.
整は入れてますが、大体銀融指示こんなところかなと思います。
But of course, there will be other minor updates that are added to the Bard, but I think that covers the major ones here.
はい、あ
Okay.
と今遅れて来られた方のために今日一つ一つのジョブに対して全部の変更点とか全部の追加アクションをご紹介してるわけじゃなくて、そういったところはメディアツアーが始まっておりますので、メディアの皆さんからめちゃくちゃな詳細が出ると思いますので、そちらをご覧いただければと思ってます。はい
And for those who are joining later in the broadcast, just to reiterate, we are not going to be covering every single detail of the new actions or the additional elements.
So they never do, but to be honest, the media tour, you're going to have so many content creators covering all the abilities, what potencies they are as of that build, that you'll hear a lot about their feedback, which SC actually pays attention to, because some potencies actually get changed right during the beginning of the expansion. So they do actually listen to the feedback, and they actually have a team who watches the videos. Alright, let's see. Barrel Stabilizer will no longer increase heat gauge by 50, and instead will allow execution of hypercharge. This is to also prevent overflow of heat gauge, so that way you don't accidentally overcap with openers and whatnot. A new trait which accumulates charges for drill. Ooh, okay. So now it'll make it easier for you to put more drills into your opener, into your buff window, which is nice because drill actually does a lot of damage. A new action that can be executed after flourish will be added. Okay, so this is probably going to be like either a combo of Starfall or something else.
The actions with the raised level cap, and then the technical finish will be added.
A new action which consumes Esprit and can be executed after technical finish will be added. Ooh, okay. Okay, so they're adding a special DPS move for Saber Dance.
大丈夫そうよね。ね、コンパクトでいよいよ長すぎると眠くなるって、そりゃそうだよね。もう11時だもんね。緊張する今日。
I'm sorry? They're reducing Swiftcast to 40 seconds? Oh, I can res mage a summoner. No, the joke on this is that, like, usually Swiftcast is up for like Garuda's AoE attack, but for them to be reducing it to 40 is actually nice for Prague, because now your DPS that can raise are pretty good. Right now these two are the only ones who can raise. I don't think Pictomancer can res. And yeah, Adel was 15 seconds. I knew it. Okay. Various adjustments will be made to streamline certain aspects of the job, such as restoring MP upon landing ice attacks while Umbral Ice is active instead of passively over time. Okay, that is a wonderful change, because the thing with Umbral Ice is it depends on server ticks as to when you regain your ice. By taking it out of the server tick's hands and into landing the ice attacks, that's actually going to make it easier for black mages to move on into the next part of their rotation. So likely, Blizzard 4 will actually give back MP instead of like being MP negative. So that's fantastic. So probably you'll get like, because right now the current rotation is like, you have a Xenoglossy, Blizzard 3, Xenoglossy, Blizzard 4, well, Thunder 3/4, Blizzard 4, the new ability from Endwalker, whose name I have forgotten. Paradox, yeah, Paradox. I think it is. No, Paradox might actually be the buff. And I saw this, a new action which repositions ley lines beneath the caster will be added. That's fantastic, because now, if you accidentally put your ley lines somewhere they're not supposed to, and then you get moved to a safe space, you can just teleport your ley lines to you and continue casting. So that's going to be great. Little more movement base. Solar Bahamut, a new... Okay, so it's not Neo. It's Solar. Whatever. Same fucking difference.
So that was kind of the thinking behind bringing in another Bahamut with a different appearance. What the Allegan Empire might have described Bahamut is, and perhaps this might not be its true form. So that was kind of the thinking behind bringing in another Bahamut.
A new action that can be executed after Searing Light. Okay. They're pretty much giving almost every job their own version of Tilana. That Dancer had, so that makes sense. That's what I'd guesstimated. Yeah, and Manification, allowing enchanted swordplay without cost. The AoE enchanted swordplay combo beginning with enchanted Molinet will now consume a total of... Okay. Okay. Repairs by painting a variety of motifs and renders them to light to produce an assortment of effects, renders multiple motifs to execute high-powered attacks.
There's going to be drawings. We call them different motifs.
It's so cute.
I do like how the little outfit looks on Lalafellin.
So as you can see in the hotbars, these are the different actions that are available for the...
Yeah, there's more actions on there than there were on Viper, which is interesting.
武器専用武器左手に持ってるのはパレットで、ここのデザインも武器ごとにかなり凝ったものが用意されていたりします。
Of course, in the left hand is the paint palette, and depending on the weapon or the brush set, the design of the palette is also different, and our team is very particular about...
戦闘中絵を描くっていう行為は、
Okay. I'm not gonna lie, I am very confused looking at this.
Combat right now, so you didn't see cast time, and it was instant, but as you can see on the far left, we see the creature motif.
Okay. Yeah, which is the Moogle motif.
で続いては武器の絵を描きます。
Next, we will do a weapon motif.
書かれましたね。
And
A
there it is.
weapon motif.
で最後風景の絵を描きます。
Next is a landscape.
Okay.
今の状態は、まあ、非戦闘状態なので今のように走りながらでも別に、描いたりとかできるので、非戦闘中にいちいち立ち止ま
Let
っ
me
て
see
描か
the
なきゃいけないみたいなことじゃないの
Discord.
で、そこは便利になるようにはしてあります。
Let me move
So
that to
of
the other
course, right
screen
now
real
we're
quick.
outside of combat, so it's instant, and then even if you're moving around, you can create your motifs.
まずこの3種類あるんだというのだけ一旦覚えておいてください。
So as a first step, let's remember that there are these 3 different motifs.
先にお伝えしやすい絵とは切り離された魔法の説明をしたいと思います。
So before we go into
Okay, they
how
didn't do
these
this live
motifs
letter.
come into play, let us explain the different magic. Let's see, ether hue elements of the
Ether
Pictomancer
hue.
in
Okay,
combat.
that's what they're calling
で
this.
魔法には置き換えが行われていてコンボのような概念があります。
So with the ether hue, the icon will be automatically replaced with the next step in the combo route. So it's kind of like a skill rotation combo.
Okay, so that's 4.
置き換わって変わります。
You see that it's been automatically replaced.
Yeah. Okay, so they have a Okay, so they actually.
3つの
Oh, that's
魔法
interesting.
色に関わる
They have like combos like melee.
光に近いかな。色を使っていくとここに1個ゲージが増えたように白いインクが使えるようになります。
Okay, so every 5 combos, it looks like they get
So with
gauge.
the ether hue combo, once it's related to colors basically, or maybe like light might be a close concept too. But as you can see in that palette gauge, you can now see that you have white color available.
なんかちょいちょい吉田の
Yeah, yeah, I see that.
Sorry, I'm just adjusting Yoshida's mic really
あ
quickly.
の PC なんでっていうんだろうね操作しようとする
Yeah,
と
it looks like they now have an ability down here.
遠ざかるんだよなマイクとせ
Just the element of your ether hue.
これを使うと今度は属性色の属性をさっき
Oh, what's this right here? That's a buff.
栄唱は長いけど強力な
Oh,
魔法を
okay, so that one gives you access to a.
さらに
Okay,
強力な
alright, so that one feels like it's got some red mage to it, because.
So of course, earlier we utilized the white color to cast Holy in white with the subtracted palette, and you
Okay, so it looks like
change
this
the
gauge at
elements of
50.
The ether hue, your different sort of ether hue spells will expand. Of course, cast times will become a little bit longer, but they are going to be a bit more powerful. So you saw like Thunder in magenta, or like Comet in black, and
Okay.
things like that.
説明が分かりやすくするために今魔法だけの説明をしてるんですけど、基本は魔法はこれがベースだと思ってください。ゲージを貯めてゲージを消費して、より強力な魔法を使っていく。で普段は栄唱が短くてちょっと威力が抑えられてるやつ
Yeah.
を中心に唱えなが
So
ら
these right
溜
here
まったら切り替える。
are
これ
these.
が魔法側だけ
So
なんですね。はい。
So this is just the ether
Interesting.
hue things. So as you can see, the basic movements is you try to accumulate your palette gauge and your rainbow gauge so that you can utilize the charges that are accumulated
Okay.
to unleash
wanna know
more
what these three
powerful,
are, though.
ether hue spells.
あとはちょっと絵の効果の説明に行く前に、まあ他のサブ系のアクションだけ説明しちゃいますけど、
And then before we jump into the motifs and the different
Oh.
pictomancy, I also wanted to go over some of the sub actions.
Okay, so they've got a
向い
gap
ている方向へ
opener,
一気に加速移動する
so they
移動
can
アクション
like
っていうのが
or a teleportation move.
So there is an action that will allow for you to move quickly towards the direction you're facing.
Oh.
で
Oh
一瞬
my
だけ
god, they gave
ちょっ
them
と足が速くなる
dancers
くっ
freaking
つきます
And then you see an enhancement. For a
to
short
gap
period of
closer.
time, your movement speed will increase.
意外と長
Oh.
距離移動します
So
の
you
で
use it once and then your movement speed
Lukia.
increases. That's
あの
nice.
ステージの減りにはご注意ください
So you can travel a pretty good distance with this action. So be careful when you get to the edge so that you don't fall off of the platform.
Ah, yes. It's gonna be
では
funny. Because I do that shit with Dancer. So when I
あとは
go to play this
範囲
job,
攻撃
I'm gonna do that with,
というところがもう当然標準装
with
備
this
されている
job.
のでここから絵を使ったアクションの説明に入ろうと思います
And then on the top row of the hotbar, those are some of your AoE attacks. So we're going to skip detailed explanation on that. So we're
That
going to
makes sense.
to the motif and pictomancy.
Alright, let's see what the
Eh,
motifs do.
これね横に並んでるから、横にこの効果を使って
I
いくイメー
guess
ジ
this is a
がある
party
のかも
buff of some
し
kind,
れないんですけど
potentially.
なんとなく今までの
This might be
他のジョブの
like a
イメージ
melee
からすると
attack. Because I think it looked like you had to get up close with it.
So,
And this is like a
with
ranged
these
attack.
actions, because it looks like it's side by side, it might make you think that, well, it's something that you
Combo.
utilize with the three in the row.
この3つの絵は
But you can do
それ
these
ぞれ
out of
独
order.
立した
They're not attached, they're just looking like that.
連動すること自体はないです
That said, although they are next to each other, they are individual like motifs.
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
can
yeah, that's what I
utilize, so they're
thought.
not necessarily connected to each other.
まず生物の絵この一番左だけを見てってくださいここから説明を始めます
Okay, so we'll start with the creature motif on the left.
今先ほど、ポンポンの絵を描きましたのでこの絵をまず具現化するっていうアクションがこれですイマジンポンポン
So let's start with the creature motif. You have created the motif, but then you need to render it in order to actually execute this as an attack.
じゃあイマジンポンポン使う
Japanese is pretty silly.
使うとどうなるかちょっとお見せしますねいいですかアニさん
あ、今
あイマジン
名前を
ポンポンを調べてるイマジンポンポンじゃないのか
コメントでお前は何を言っているんだ
Hi.
Um,
The Japanese literally sounds like imagine a pom pom, but the English, I believe, is living muse.
living muse, okay.
So we shall create the motif.
Okay, so oh, I see. So that's why they gray out. Oh,
で
they became something different.
描かれます
And as you can see, it is now on our canvas.
でこれに
Yeah,
よって
I'm gonna guess this is an
今度は
AoE buff. This is a melee attack. This is a ranged attack.
できるようになってます
And that you probably have to get
So with this,
several
now we
motifs
can
to summon
render the
something bigger.
wings as an attack.
で同じようにさっきポンポンを
Because
具現化
this
し
is
た
the
ので
parts of the
羽を具現化しま
Moogle,
す
so you're probably summoning the parts of the Moogle from this,
So
but this is
these
just
are
like
wings,
a,
and so we're going to render the wing.
Yep, there you go, now you have your Moogle.
はいこれで、ポンポンと
And now you
羽
can
を
use this to
描いた
blast it.
これによって呼びましたかと
Oh, I see. Alright, so to explain this, this up here is just, these three are AoE stuff, so this is like a separate, this is like Fletch for AoE stuff. This is Fletch for single target. These are the two single target combos. You do this combo to activate this, and then you go into this combo and activate this. So basically, it works a lot like Red Mage. Okay. So you have your fire kind of combo that starts, and your ice combo that kind of starts, and it goes into a 3-hit. You do your little Verholy version, and you got your Verflare version, or Meteor thing in this case. this button right here, I don't know what exactly it does, but you get gauged based off of doing these normal attacks. This right here is where you summon your motifs, so it'd probably be something you weave in as the OGCD. And then you probably save these for during your burst window, so you may actually get a stack of this from doing some of this stuff in later levels. But see how as you use this lights back up again? These gray out once you've activated them, and then once you complete however many actions on the combo here, you have a new action here to do. Like after you've summoned your thing. So in this case, because you summoned the 2 pieces to make the Moogle, you're now going to be able to use the Moogle attack.
So with the palm and the wings, you see a little Moogle up there. You ring.
Yeah, someone's appealing.
そうそれによってモーグリを召喚する爪の絵を描きます。
Next, we will draw a picture of a claw.
で爪を具
Okay.
現化します。
No Moogle up there now, so you probably used up the Moogle's power. Yep. Oh, that was only one.
今度は牙が描けるようになったので牙の絵を描きます。
So now, a set of fangs become available. So we will depict that as our motif.
そしてさらに牙を具現化します。
So what's the point in these if you can only use one attack at a time?
これによって全ての要素が揃ったのでマディーンが
So now the canvas goes blank, and then there were symbols above the canvas, but we were able to fill the slots there. So we have yet another creature.
Okay, I see. So over time, these accumulate back up in case for like openers and such, but it's one attack per
We used Swiftcast.
use of this.
We'll do it.
次この
Way to use the weapon motif would be to have it on standby, kind of depicted in your canvas, and then once you're ready to go in and deal
Sorry, I'm getting a little
continuous
tired.
damage, you can unleash your hammer combo so that you're continuously.
I'm doing good, Empires. How are you doing today?
で最後
I'm actually watching these job actions, kind of discussing what I'm learning from them and everything.
でもあるからです。
So what's
next
this
is the
ultimate attack?
landscape motif. This one has a longer casting time because it is also the depiction for your party buffs.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Party buffs, melee attack.
Executing.
こうやって
That is pretty.
はいこのまあ別に
I've been up since 5 a.m.
僕の
Three. I'm okay, just woke up. Ah. Yeah, I got work today, and then the second I come home from work, unless like
Not only is it a buff, but you can
unless
also
I'm
utilize
needed
it
for
attacks.
tomorrow's
The range is
raid,
gonna
I'm
be a
probably
wider
just
range
gonna
depending on
crash
party
into
buff.
bed when I get
Party
home.
で、
Which reminds me, I need to
こちら
see
をですね展開中
general on that.
さっきの説明した最初の魔法、まあ、無栄称で使えたり
Shit.
5キャストまで無栄称で使えたりするのでここと組み合わせてバースト無栄称でするみたいな感じで開幕ローテーションとかバーストとか組んでいくことになりま
So
す。
it's probably gonna be Scion or
So with
myself.
the,
Oh, whoops, I'm
landscape
sorry.
motif and the buff that
I didn't
you
mean to
can
remove that.
apply to the party
No, 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 no.
will
I have work
allow
later.
for your
So usually I
to,
stream
the
before I go to
magics that
work.
we explained
So,
earlier with the different colors and the palette.
I usually stream for about between 4 to 6 hours before work, and then I go to work, and then I come home, and then I sleep.
To be
But
cast
today,
without the,
I didn't really sleep a
longer
lot
cast
before
time. So if
because
you want to say, going
I
into a
was
battle,
going down
and
the
starting
stairs,
off
and I
with,
guess I was half
like a
asleep
damage
when I went down the
burst
stairs
in
real
the
quick
beginning
to
of the
throw
battle,
laundry in the
that might be a
dryer.
way to place your,
And
buff there,
I,
and you can start the battle with,
Stepped off the last step, slipped,
optimal,
fell on my back with
damage
my neck and the upper,
まあ今まで
my
の
neck,
本当に
upper
キャスト
back,
データ
and
とか
head hit the last step while the rest of my body
ちょっ
hit
と
the
慣れ
actual
るまで
floor.
かもしれないけど
And so I'm a little sore, and it was a little hard to sleep. I'm not injured that badly, but it did kind of hurt a little bit. It bruised my pride and my back.
So
Yeah.
the Pictomancer's
The worst part
rather
is the
different
floor
from the
at the
other
bottom of the
magic
stairs is
ranged
vinyl flooring, so yeah.
Apologies, it's
But the
still
stair was
getting
carpet,
used
so
to
this
how it moves around. But let me show you some
that
examples
was gonna be
of
funny, but nah.
how a skill
That's
rotation
fair.
might look like.
Okay.
あれこの後
Oh.
Oh, already
そうだ
forgot.
ピットウィングだった
Okay. Ooh.
賑やかですね。
Oh, and most of it's oh. Oh.
まあ今みたいな感じで意外と一個ずつ説明すると
Oh my
ナレ
god.
ーション長いかな
This
と
is
思うかもしれ
actually
ないけど
nice.
やること間に結構
It's
挟ん
as
で
it's as
るんで
mobile as Summoner, if not more. I think this is actually going to be the most mobile caster
楽
now.
しめるジョブになってるので
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay.
ちょっと久々にもう次までやって軽く
I can actually still hear and talk without any strain on my voice neck as a
どうする
oh.
どうする
Oh, Stars, that was who you went to go see. That's right. That's right.
Double checking if we
ここから
want to take another
Ooh.
short break.
平までやる
Go through all the healers.
行くならこうやっぱそうだよね。ここです。今
はい
です。
わかりました
Alright, they're gonna take a short break, so I'm gonna skim through this part. Alright, let's see.
Applies to all healer jobs is just one. Swift cast, recast will be reduced to 40 seconds.
Yeah, that right
in
there is
the 90s level
fantastic.
range. This
40
is, similar
second-
to
Watch the pit breakout. Oh, nice. So, yeah, Swiftcast being reduced to 40 seconds is amazing for healers, because now healers will be able to res more quickly. Oh, yeah! Kalia, White Mage now has a, their own version of Icarus. So they now have a gap closer. Also now, Presence of Mind is going to be used on an AoE attack, because they now added a new AoE attack which can be executed up to 3 times after Presence of Mind.
And then the second
Get the
point,
fuck outta here. I know,
with
right?
Presence of Mind, after executing that, there
Yeah.
will be an AoE.
So now White Mage
attack
has more
action
mobility,
that can be
which is nice
executed up to
because it was
3
only one
times.
kind of missing mobility.
So in addition to the different healing actions that will be added,
Scholar can
as
turn
the
themselves into a
level
fairy
cap
now,
is
by the
raised,
way.
there will be
They
some,
actually
action items
they
that
actually
involve
get
attacking
like their
also.
own version of
あ
Enshroud.
とは他にはですね
But it's a
あの
fairy.
テトラグラマトンの
But they
最大
turn to like a
スタッツ数が
beautiful fairy. It's actually
が
really
追加
cool.
されてたりとか、
うん
まあもちろんこれ以外にも追加要素っていうのはありますけど割とまっすぐアップデートされてるという感じになってます。
And then some of the minor updates, there will be a trait that will be added that will allow for an increased stack numbers for Tetragrammaton. Of course, there are other updates there, but I think those are the major ones to note.
Ooh, more 2 stacks of tetragrammation is
So,
fantastic.
あなたのメインジョブ大丈夫ですか？
大丈夫です。
That's an extra
Fun, I
oh
know
shit
this is your
button.
main. Is everything looking good?
はい。では次学者に参りましょう。
Alright, let's, yeah, Scholar.
Next is our scholar.
動画でもザーザーしておりましたが、自身の姿を変えて
Seraphism, a new action which changes the caster's appearance and enhances healing magics. Okay, so it's their version of Temperance, but they turn into a fucking fairy.
So
It's
I did
great.
see some people buzzing about this while we were playing back the video, but there's going to be a new action that will change the caster's appearance, called Seraphism.
まあこちら
Update that we would be making is the scholar will obtain a trait that will allow for a reduced recast time for recitation and other various updates with the
More
raised
recitation stacks? Ooh, recitation, yes!
大丈夫ですかね。
That's a fantastic update.
さて
Alright,
続いては
here's what I'm most interested in.
で
Astro
こちらは結構大きく手が入っており
What
ます
did you do to them
So
this
Astro
time?
version is
Every
next, and
expansion,
this
you
one
change
has had,
Astro to where it's
some,
almost a new job.
changes that were applied.
まず一つ目、カードシステムからランダム性をなくしてですね、攻撃バフ、防御バフ、回復の効果を、持つカードを
Okay, so the card system will no longer be random and will instead simultaneously draw cards with offensive, defensive, and curative effects. Wait! Oh my fucking god. They changed the card system back to its original set while making it to where you draw 3 cards altogether. Okay. So to explain this, back when Astro first came out in Heaven's Sword, Bowl, for instance, was actually a defense buff. So I think that's what they did. Was they probably made 2 of the cards defensive in nature, 2 of which are heal, and 2 of which are offense now.
同時に引くというものに変更
Which
してま
makes
す。
sense. So from left to right,
So
it's
the first
probably
point
offense,
reads, the card
defense,
system
curative.
will no longer be random, and will instead simultaneously draw cards with offensive, defensive, and curative effects.
クラウンロードとクラウンレディを含めると全部でカードね8
What
種
did
類
they say about
ある
Crown
んですが
Lord and
今
Crown
回の
Lady?
回収ではこれらを4種類ずつ2つのグループに分けて60秒ごとに1グループずつ順番かつ4枚のカードをまとめてドローできるようになっております。
So right now we have 8 total different types of cards, including Lord of Crowns and Lady of Crowns.
Yes.
And so with this update, we are going to divide these cards into 2 different groups with 4 cards each. And so every 60 seconds, you will be able to pull one pull from one group in order, one 4 cards. Sorry, we can. Sorry. We can do 1 group at a time. So 4 cards at the same time.
Okay, so they did actually make Crown part of that one.
これまで
That's
全部
gross though.
予
That means now you're not gonna have the cards every 20 seconds. You're gonna have the cards once a minute. So we're not gonna be able to spam offensive cards on DPS anymore. Which means a lot of its buff abilities, aka the main reason to bring it over White Mage, it may actually get its Heaven Sword treatment again, where it wasn't. It may be getting the White Mage Heaven Sword treatment, where nobody wanted to bring White Mage because Astro could buff everybody. But now White Mage's DPS may be high enough, you may not want to bother with Astro.
Of these cards was an increased damage dealt enhancement or buff.
Yeah.
But that is going to be now limited to certain cards. And then everything else in that set of 4 cards will either be offensive or curative. So every 60 seconds, you'll be able to draw a set of 4 cards. And then with those 4 cards, you'll pick out like which ones to use depending on your situation.
Okay.
で
Well, actually, though, I think they made the cards AoE again. So it may be that
まあシンボルの要素は
Astro Dime will be removed in accordance with the discontinuation of Astro Signs. That makes sense.
So because each individual cards now have their own effect, we are going to do away or discontinue the Astro Signs.
What's funny is Astro Dime literally lasted 1 fucking expansion.
わかる ?4 種類のまあ攻撃
They're like, nah, man, this is too powerful.
ダメージ
Nerf Astro.
防御とか回復効果っていうカードをパックにして4枚で、60秒に1回引けるのでシチュエーションに応じてそのカードを、60秒の間で振り分けて使っていくっていう感じになります。
So just to recap, so you'll draw a set of 4 cards, and included in that 4 cards
Okay.
まあというわけで今回またちょっと大きくですね変えさせていただいていますが、まあ状況に応じてカードを使い分けるっていうところをちゃんとやりたいと。ただその上でできるだけこう初期でねすごく言われたランダム性いらんのだけどっていうところはまあなくしてますという感じになってます。
So as you can see, there were some major changes with the Astrologian, but we really wanted to focus in on the aspect of utilizing the cards in their appropriate situations. And there were feedback about how we can do away with the randomness of the cards that are being drawn. So we have removed that element of it.
Well, a lot of it was less that okay, so a lot of the problem wasn't that the cards were random. It was that the cards were random and you had less opportunity to fish for the one that you wanted. And it just made it more of a pain in the ass, especially with trying to max out Astrodyne.
And yeah, as people are already commenting that they're willing to try it out, I think it's best to kind of see for yourself to get some of the changes that we have made.
Yeah, I'll wait till the media tour and then I'll probably watch one or two of the videos to understand it, because I know Ms. Tech will probably post, and Zeppla will post like a list of all the skills and what their potencies are and everything.
結局最初のがいいっていうお声があるのも、まあ、よくわかってるんですけど、悩ましいですね、本当ここは。
And it's definitely difficult, this the element of randomness. Like, we do see people saying that no, we would rather have the cards be random, because it's very unique to the Astrologian. Euclatian Dyscrasia, an AoE attack which deals damage over time to enemies within range.
I do like that they're changing the damage over time to AoE. That's nice.
And will only be available for a certain period of time.
And a party buff that heals nearby party members whenever the caster casts a spell will be added. So AoE synergy, which is pretty fantastic. Or sorry, AoE Cardia.
当然 PVP 用のアクションとリミットブレイクを持って、新ジョブとして追加されます。
So yeah, now they're going into
Of course,
other
with the
changes.
PvP, we
ということでランキングの
Okay.
もうちょっとだけ項目があるので、まあ
Oh
ぜひお
god,
付き合いい
I
ただ
was
ける方はお
blind
付き合いい
bombed
た
by
だ
this.
ければと思います。
So we have a few more topics to cover. So yeah, if you are able to stick around, please stick around
です
and talk about a couple of NPCs, pretty much simultaneously as we are speaking with the media.
さあパワーポイント言ってください。
Oh, new characters. Okay, so they're adding more of the characters they were talking about. Okay, this is the cat boy that was... I'm pretty sure this is the cat boy from the poster image. And this is the current king.
今回ご紹介するのはバクジャジャというキャラクターとコーナというキャラクターなんです。
Jaja! Job,
The
job,
two characters
jobbings!
we wanted to talk about are Bakul Jaja and Koana.
まあ今回
Oh shit, it's Moana with a
ストーリー
K.
の中で
Let's see what we
継
got.
承レース、トラル大陸の多い継承レースにこう助力していく光の戦士がというお話をしてますが、今日ご紹介するこの2人は
Still don't know who that girl is because they haven't talked about her yet.
継承ライバルだと思ってください。
So these two characters, of course, we had given an overview of how the Warrior of Light will be helping the race to the throne for the next king or leader of Toral. And
Yes.
so these two characters will not necessarily be moving around with the Warrior of Light, but they're rivals in that race to the throne.
Oh, okay, so he's not the king, he's a rival. He's a rival too.
現在トラル大陸を治めているグルージャジャと同じ
Sorry, I'm double checking
頭が
things.
2つ相当のマムージャ族
Okay.
になってま
We
す。
got about 20 minutes left of this.
So Bakul Jaja is just like the current ruler of Tural, Gulul Jaja, who is a two-headed Mamulja.
まあ王族ではないんですけど、
I'm gonna
とある理由
guess
から
he's the
王
one
位
that
継承レースの
Cat
候
Lady
補として
doesn't want in
参加す
charge.
ることになってます。
And Bakul Jaja is not a royalty, so to speak, but they have their own reason to participate in the race to the throne.
そしてですね、ミコって
Unless
まあ
Koana
ミコってみ
is
たいな
like
風貌まあミコってなんですけど
basically
呼び
Tsukuyomi.
方がねやっぱ地方によってちょっと種族の呼び方違
I
う
wouldn't
んで
be
ミコって
surprised if he's
族
basically
とは呼ばれ
Tsukuyomi
ないん
and
ですけ
steps
ど
on us.
まあこちらも継承候補者の一人
AKA Yotsuya.
And of course, Kwana. Of course, he looks like a Mikote, but not necessarily called as such because of how the race is referred to in the land of Tyrol. But they are also part of the race to the throne.
まあ冒険者である皆さんとも今ご紹介したバクジャジャともまたさらに別の陣営である目的のためにまあ継承レースに参加していると。では彼らとの出会いというのをですねぜひちょっと楽しみ
God,
に
that
しておいて
two-headed
ください。
guy
どう
looks
してもねこのメディ
hideous.
アツアーで名前が出てきてしまうので、先んじて皆さんに、こういったキャラいますよというのをお伝えさせていただきました。
And so Kwana is going to be traveling separately from both the Warrior of Light and Bakul Jaja's teams, but also participating in the race to the throne for his own reasons. So the story kind of has the Warrior of Light encounter these characters in the scenario. So their names are going to come up with the media kind of getting their first impressions on Dawn Trail. So just wanted to provide
Oh, okay, yeah.
our players with the information.
Live is now done, and before closing, I have some new announcement stuff, so let's check it out. ということで、最初のお知らせはこちらでございます。
にしてくださいっていう先方のリク
Yeah, so, as of next Tuesday through the 10th of June, they are going to do the Fall Guys collaboration event again. Yay. Actually, when does the yokai event end? I don't think it's, like, been going on. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so it pretty much, it's gonna be going till, okay, till 7.0. Alright, cool.
エストだったんで、
うん
まあ今後も定期的にこんな感じ
So
で
I'm probably gonna work on getting
item
all
と
this
したっ
stuff
ていうのを繰り返
finished
していく
up
こと
on all
にな
my
ります。
characters.
So we are saying that it is returning.
This summer, as you head
Mountain Zoo Mount, really? Sparkling citrus refreshment? Oh god. Alright.
west toward the
I don't
tower.
know if I want to
ということで
buy that shit just for a stupid mount that's only available in like one character unless it's account wide.
この素敵なマウンテン
Which
ビューコラ
usually
ボ
they're not.
という
They're
ことでね、キャップの中にコードが印字されています。で、ここに本当のコードが書いてあるので、今ちょっと
マーケ PR チームにも5000円を送ってあげてください。
So yeah,
デスク or around デスク。
Okay, new merchandise. Cable clips. So you got main scenario icon, Alpha, and Moogle. Aw. Ooh, I kind of want that Azam's crystal keychain. That'd be so cute. I kind of want the Loppert plushie too. Okay, yeah, I saw about this. Ooh. I kind of want the immersive game pack like headset because I feel like it'd be fun. The Primals Yokohama Arena concert. Okay. Darkest Before Dawn. Ooh. Oh. In Japan, of course, they've got a special KFC thing where they eat KFC, which sounds about right. Oh, the update schedule. Here we go. Alright, so we got the Make It Rain event that started on the 15th. The media tour just started as well. The media tour ends on the 30th, so probably the 31st of May is when we'll start seeing some stuff going on. Okay, the next letter live for the producer is again on a Thursday. Depending on the type of day, it's probably gonna be, I'll have a Friday thing. Alright, so they're gonna have a 48-hour maintenance. So that's gonna be fun. Alright, Fall Guys collaboration, Wiggle Treasure Trove, second part. I don't care about that. Okay, the Dragon Quest X event, which I mean, I only have like one character that hasn't done it yet, so that's fine. Alright. So kind of with this, you kind of see why I'm starting to slow down a little bit with some of the games I'm playing. I'm only adding like one or two, kind of with the goal of getting everything done by the end of the 27th. So after Talos Principle, the only thing I'm touching is Dragon Age Origins. And I'm not adding any more new games until all the ones I currently have are done. But I suspect I will be done by, with most of them, if not all of them, by Dawn Trail's release. And then starting from early release for Dawn Trail, I will probably every day, I'll be honest, I probably won't take any break days. I will probably stream every day for about 4 to 6 hours to get through the story before 2 weeks after the official launch, because that's when the raid tier will unlock. And at that point, I'll start playing more games again. Because any raid stuff will be during my off days. Alright, let's see if there's anything else.
Some nice comments. Some of it is we're very keen to find out information of their particular role and or job.
So that was some exciting stuff. Kind of my final thoughts on it before I end up pretty much ending stream for today. I'm excited to see the media tour. I'll probably do another, like, probably on a Monday, I'll do like a little react day where we sit down with some of the media tour videos, watch those, and kind of see what their thoughts are on the new job. Well, actually, I may not. I may leave it to them and just like post the videos in the Discord. I will not be streaming tomorrow. Nor will I be streaming on Sunday. I'm trying to get the schedule back to normal until the next live letter. So my next stream will actually be on Monday. I'm kind of planning to take this weekend to work on things I need done. You should see the character reference sheet tomorrow. I plan to work on it today and get like the main outfit done. Like I said, the summer vacation model, which will also be come out the same time as the main one. Both of those will be both of those will be available at the same time and will be like a redeem. So yeah, the character sheet should be done for those of tomorrow. And maybe towards the evening that I post them, but if you want to see what my future model is going to look like, just check out my Discord. Upcoming streams, I already posted my schedule in Discord actually. Next week on Monday and on Thursday is going to be Secret of Mana. I will not be starting Legend of Mana until after Dawn Trail. Once Secret of Mana is complete, I will probably be putting Dragon Age Origins in those 2 days. Well, one of those days will be Dragon Age Origins, the other one will be The Witcher. I will not be playing Automata until post Dawn Trail, so once I'm done with Nier Replicant, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, then I will be again replacing those with like Witcher 3 and Dragon Age Origins in order to get those games complete. If I get everything complete before Dawn Trail releases, I'll probably do something short form. Like, I know I've been curious about Pokemon Fusions, which looks pretty cool. Supposedly Space Quest is kind of short, so I might try that. The only special stream I do have coming up the week of June 2nd, I will be streaming on that Sunday because that is my birthday, and I'm going to be doing a special stream with Stranger of Paradise. It's also going to be when my new outfit will be released. When both of the new outfits will be released. So the Model 2.0 as well as the other one. They are going to be Vroid models for right now. Eventually down the road, I will do a live 2D model, but for right now, I'm kind of happy trying out the Vroid models. With that being said, thank you guys for coming in. I greatly appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a great and wonderful rest of your day. And I will see y'all next Monday at 12 a.m. Eastern. That's 9 p.m. Sunday Pacific and 5 a.m. British time. And I'll be playing more Secret of Mana, trying to find the Underground Palace as well as some others. So I hope you guys have a great, wonderful rest of your day. Appreciate you all, and I will see y'all next time.